Yeah, well, I hope you die.
Oh, buddy!
What?
You should just fucking smile and blow me! You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
And you guessed it, a Jew.
Enough. I will hear no more of this Hebrew nonsense.
Nobody's saying you can't own a gun. Nobody's even saying you can't carry a gun. All we're saying is you can't carry a gun in town.
You little bastard, you attacked my stepson?
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they're disgusting.
All the way, Virginia, bitch.
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Guys, I screwed up. I messed up big time tonight. I think we're gonna be hard to find, especially on YouTube. Good evening, welcome to the program. I had a new way of doing the show. I have to find a new way to do the display for the show because Rumble Studio's getting rid of the way I usually do it. This is a really fun way to start the show, by the way. I understand. They're doing away with the setting I use to do the show. So I'm trying to get used to the other settings. And as I tried to get used to the other settings, I accidentally broadcast it to my Rumble user account, which nobody follows. It's just the account you set up to have a Rumble account. And then this is the channel you're watching now is the one I stream on. That's the one with thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers and hundreds of thousands of views every month and the whole thing. The one I'm very proud of and the one that you probably see me on. I bottle fucked that really bad. And I streamed to that, and then it didn't schedule right the first time, so I hit schedule again. So then 2 live streams popped up on YouTube, so that was a disaster. I just had to go and delete the other one before we started. I have a feeling tonight's show is going to be very difficult to find, and it's all my fault. So if numbers and stats and everything are low tonight, you can definitely blame me, but here's something you can do to help. Hit like and hit share. Hit like and hit share because I fudged it up. Halada Vagina says, way to go, retard. You had one job. And I really did. I really did have one job. Don't fuck up the stream. And you know, the good thing is, though, if I could take any positive out of it, it would be this. It would be that I understand this software now and I can use it going forward and I don't have to worry about them discontinuing it, which will help a lot. Taste Fairy Ialto says, it's already snake bit. And, you know, I was coming on here with good news tonight. You know, I'm always really excited when we start the week with a win. And not only did we start the week with a win this morning, but it was very easy. You guys knocked it down like all the way throughout the show. And then I also, when I always go back and count again like an hour after every show's over because I'm terrified of ripping people off. And I did. We went over by about $15 this morning, and that's on me. So I counted wrong. Technically, we didn't even need the rally segment today. That's on me. I screwed it up. Also, our Rumble live read numbers over the last 30 days are insane, way more than we need. So I think I'm going to bank some of that here coming up this week. But great start to the week. I am a mathematical and technical fuck up, though. So far, I can put on one hell of a show, man. When that mic comes on, boy, can I do all right. Everything else connected to it, dog shit. Welcome to the program. I'm glad you're here. No Pen 15 Fathead is asking for a membership. Let's hook him up. Let's hook that guy up with a membership. In fact, let's hook everybody up with a membership because I want to say we're 19 away from 500. And if you guys get that 19 in, then I have no problem going until 9 tonight. Yes, 19. Where the fuck are these flakes coming from on my phone? Uh-oh, he's got dandruff. He's balding. We're going to be fine. You're going to hit like, we're going to be fine. I'm not sweating already. You're sweating already. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and throw in a couple of bucks. All the links are in the chat. Thank you guys very much. Well, that's a good start on YouTube tonight. Brianna Gal, one of the few people who can find our stream tonight, becoming a member for 46 months. Thank you so much. I might kill the YouTube feed tonight, and I might go Rumble only because I'm telling you, that's how bad I fucked this up. Because I had, like, if you set up 2 streams at once, that's a nightmare scenario. So I'll keep an eye on the YouTube thing. And if it's under like 100, a half hour in, I'm just going to kill it. And we'll go Rumble only because I fucked it up really bad. And I'm so sorry to everyone. Silverwolf with $1. Thank you very much. Let's get 160 of those flowing through here and we'll be good. Aaron, I'm done with the U.S. Uh-oh. I had to go to the Spencer's in Crossroads and saw 2 late teen, early 20 girls buying sex toys and lingerie with 3 or 4-year-olds with them and a dude buying sex toys. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we just don't have enough shame of degeneracy anymore. I'm certainly ashamed of mine, and I think that's a good thing. But other people are just, we had this thing where it's like, hey, let your freak flag fly. No. Bury that shit in your closet as deep as you possibly can and try to put on a front that you're a normal person when there's people around. There was a saying in the 2000s, a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed. Thank you, Ludacris. Be a normal person when you're around other people and then be the degenerate piece of shit you are when they're not around. We've got this outbreak of exhibitionism that I think ought to be rounded up and put in a camp and destroyed forever. And cleanse the society, if you will. I have no problem if you want to sit around wearing thongs together and smash each other in the head with clubs while you pierce bells onto your genitals. Just don't let me know about it. Don't do it in public. Lock yourself in a room and don't ever talk to anybody. So yes, I agree with you, Silverwolf. There is a lack of shame, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We encourage dorks. That's the problem. We encouraged dorks for a whole generation, and dorks have always been the weird one. They've always been the nipple clamp crowd, and now it's coming back to haunt us. That's our problem. That's our problem. Oh, man. Jane says, I hate when gays are in the closet and marry women. It is kind of mean, isn't it? Like, you're basically you're giving the woman this false hope. I always cheat on my wives with women so they know that I'm extra straight. That's really, I think, the best move for health. Professor Tie-Dye becoming a member for 12 months says a year of your gayness on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Guys, thank you very much. Just make sure you're hitting thumbs up. Make sure you're throwing a couple of bucks in if you can. Let's have a perfect Monday. You know, it's been a long time since we had a perfect Monday. And evening shows make me nervous because I never know what I'm going to get. It could be like last week where everything just gets hammered out like crazy and it's ridiculous and incredible. Or it could be like a few weeks ago where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And you just have a complete psychological doubting of yourself. Let's see what tonight's going to bring. I use Monday as like a precursor for the entire week, and I'm already sweating. I'm already clammy. I'm already warm. That can't be good. That can't be a good sign. So welcome to the show. Let's get going. Please and thank you. Lots of memberships tonight, and the old Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. You might say, Aaron, you can't tie the amount of money that comes in during a show to the quality of your performance. Oh, yeah? Watch me. You bet your ass I can. I can definitely make it about my performance. Let's get into some shit tonight. I would hang out in the chat, but I'm going to fucking dance like a monkey this evening. This was a weird one. And the conspiracy theories are already out there and people are already going off on this one. This is not the story that like the Erica Kirk Turning Point USA crowd needed today. Apparently Charlie Kirk's mentor died in a pickleball accident. Okay, now I know that there's times where people go, it's really insensitive to go with the conspiracy theory. It's insensitive to the families. Obviously, a lot of people are mad at Candace Owens because, you know, of the way she's been going after Erica Kirk. I caught about 5 minutes of Candace's show today. Sure enough, she was going after Erica Kirk again. But it is weird. By the way, I believe the official story on this Jeff Webb guy's death. But you have to admit, if you can't admit that it looks weird, then you just can't live in reality. And you're always living in this defensive political world where you feel like you have to fend yourself off from punches that aren't coming at you. But this guy, Jeff Webb, apparently whacked his head playing pickleball, went into a coma, and died. It's like when I go to the Y to play basketball, in some of the other courts in the late morning, early afternoon, there's pickleball going on. And I tell you, man, the 50-plus crowd, they love that shit. They get into it, man. They're breaking ankles in there. And it's really, really popular. And they take it very seriously. So I have no problem believing that I think he was 78, a 78-year-old man hit his head playing pickleball and died. I can see these guys taking headers off a hard gym floor. And at that age, your head's very mushy. It's very soft. You bruise like a banana. And you don't take punishment the way you used to. You ever hit a 78-year-old in the head as hard as you can? I mean, they turn to dust. By the way, if your answer to that question was no, of course not, Aaron, why would I ever hit a 78-year-old in the head? Congratulations, there's still a part of you that's not terminally online and still human. But this Jeff Webb being connected to Charlie Kirk and dying this way is just going to make people go, oh boy, what did he know? What was he about to release? You know, kind of the old Hillary Clinton joke. What did he have on the Clintons? What did he have on Charlie's death? Nothing. This is not a tying up loose ends thing. Let me put it this way. If Candace Owens ain't dead, they didn't kill this guy. Jeff Webb, competitive cheerleading pioneer, Varsity Spirit founder, and one of Charlie Kirk's mentors, has died after a pickleball accident. I hope this is one of the first 5 pickleball-related deaths in America. And I'm not counting like heart attacks and shit. I mean like an injury that kills you. More people have died playing pickleball this year than have died playing baseball and basketball. According to Cheer Daily, what a great place to have your death reported on in. Varsity Spirit president Bill Seeley announced Jeff's passing in an email, explaining he was hospitalized 2 weeks ago after a fall while playing pickleball. Again, these guys, I mean, they fucking running after it's like standing ping pong, like the ping pong where you're standing on the table and they're going after it. And let's say a 78-year-old gets his feet crossed up and he trips and it just pulls him right into that hard gym floor. Smack. Or maybe he's playing outdoors, and when they play outdoors, they're playing on that hard cement tennis court, and you're just, bam, you're hitting that hard court and forget it. Never woke up. The report says he suffered a severe head injury and his family decided to take him off life support. Honestly, like even if you're old, your family hears, oh, I'm going to pickleball. You're like, the worst case scenario is grandpa breaks a hip. Grandpa sustains some kind of knee injury and he's got to get a knee replacement. Like, that's your worst case scenario. So imagine how anticlimactic and anti-closure it would be when someone says, hey, by the way, your grandpa died. Oh, really? What happened? Yeah, he took a header in pickleball and just never woke up. Pickleball. Turning Point USA described Jeff as a dear friend, but what did he know about Netanyahu? Of Charlie's, in a tribute they posted on X, writing that he was a visionary who helped shape generations of young leaders and believed deeply in the power of community and country. The cheerleading guy? After Charlie's death, Webb did an interview with Real America's Voice where he said, quote, we probably lost a future president. He was 76 years old. So no, let me go on the record as I am not one of the people who think that Turning Point USA had, Jeff Webb? I don't think that Turning Point USA had Jeff Webb, competitive cheerleading pioneer, murdered to help cover up what really happened with Charlie Kirk. Again, if they haven't killed Candace and they haven't killed Joe Kent, they didn't kill Jeff Webb. They certainly didn't trip him on the pickleball court. I don't. As we saw with Charlie Kirk, they're flashier than that. By the way, speaking of Charlie Kirk and speaking of Joe Kent, apparently I heard today that they think Joe Kent is one of the people responsible for leaking text to Candace Owens. Candace Owens on her show today said absolutely not. She didn't need anything from Joe Kent. She got everything she needed from other sources. So it does sound like Joe Kent doesn't believe the Tyler Robinson story, though, when it comes to Charlie. And, that always helps you feel a little less crazy, to be honest. Speaking of things I watched today, I finally got around, because people told me it was really, really good. I finally got around to watching that Jubilee video where they do the 20-on-1 and the debate program that Gino was on. And this was about fat shaming and obesity culture, fat acceptance, things like that. And it was Jillian Michaels versus a bunch of fat people who wanted to say how mean and terrible and awful she was. And I gotta say, man, I watched it and it was really interesting. I listened to it at the gym today. Ironically, I listened to it at the gym while I was running 2.5 miles. Nothing will inspire you to run through a high heart rate and breathing heavy and pouring sweat quite like seeing some of the people Jillian Michaels was talking to. So I started on the leg press and then I got onto the treadmill and I'm listening to this Jillian Michaels Jubilee thing. I play clips for you, but Jubilee strikes you immediately if you play their stuff. They're one of the worst. They're like NBC, really. And Jillian Michaels is on there talking to these overweight, fat, obese. I don't know. I don't even know what to call them anymore because they had so many yes and no phrases for themselves. But that fat acceptance thing, it's really sad. It's really sad and it's really toxic. It's really tragic because you look at these people who the fat acceptance thing is just a way for people to give up, but not make it look like they've given up and make the rest of us look like, we're toxic and we're awful. I mean, look, I've been trying to lose weight my whole life. And sometimes I succeed and sometimes I'm stuck like I am now. And I know why I'm stuck. But to say that there's this unfair pressure or to say that, they'll even make the argument that getting thinner or losing weight is a bad thing. They'll say, oh, well, fat acceptance is okay because weight yo-yoing is bad. And it's like, well, yes, weight yo-yoing is bad, but it's not the losing weight part that's bad. It's the putting it back on again part that's bad. And, it really is heart rate and fat burning zone, muscle toning, calorie deficit. That's it. You get intense cardio mixed with a lifting thing, and then you eat better. And me, I got 2 of those 3 things down. I can cardio my dick off, and I can lift enough so that I don't look like a total bitch. But that eating thing, man, I get it. And here's the crazy thing. I would empathize with the fat acceptance people if they didn't attack the rest of us so hard. It's like they act like we're the assholes, and it's clearly lashing out. It's clearly like a hurt people thing. And I highly recommend that you go watch the Jillian Michaels Jubilee thing, because it really does. It's the most illuminating look I've ever had into the mind of the fat acceptance movement. And in a way, you empathize and you feel bad for them, because you're like, it is hard. It is difficult. And all of this is excuse making. And for some of them, you're so dealing with trauma. You're so dealing with things that happened to you when you were children, and unhealthy relationships with food and snacking and all that. And man, you really should see somebody and work that out. But they just end up on the cope of, well, I'm healthy at any size. Well, I'm fine the way I am. And everything about health is a joke, and everything about fat cells and how they clog your system and how they wreck your organs. All of that's just, we ignore that, because they never address that part. They just create these straw men and then attack them. So Jillian Michaels will go, well, fat cells, they take up more space and then they swell because, blah, 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 because there's nowhere for this stored. So fat is energy. And if you burn that energy, great, eat fat, get, fueled up and everything else, and then burn the energy that your food creates. But if you don't burn that energy has to go somewhere, and it gets stored in fat cells. And if it gets stored in those fat cells, they just keep expanding. And that is terrible for your system. And Jillian Michaels would explain that to these people, and they just go, no. Weight yo-yoing is bad. And she's like, yeah, of course it is, but that's not my point. And they're like, well, you're just attacking people who might have trauma. And she's like, no, I'm not. It's just the goalposts keep moving every time you tell them, like, look, and because it's not easy, they attack that. It's like, well, no, it isn't easy. You're right. I mean, I've been 10 to 15 pounds overweight almost my whole life. I've always been in some form of athletics, so I've always been able to keep a cap on it. But there's a weight I want to be. There's a weight where I know I feel better. There's a weight where I feel lighter and more streamlined and more athletic. And I've been there before, and I want to be there again. I just feel better. It's not a societal pressure. It's not people telling me I have to be a certain thing. I mean, my God, you go out and look in public. Here's the worst part of where we're at as a society is someone who looks like me is not looked at as fat. That's a problem. Because at 6'3", 223 pounds today, it'll be 20 in a week. It'll be 25 the next one. I need to go down about 10 to be more comfortable. And to watch people self-sabotage and make these excuses that it's fine where they are. And the worst part about it is that in America, there's strength in numbers. They're like 70% of the population at this point. And they'll say things like, well, our food is designed scientifically to keep us addicted, and it's scientifically designed for us to eat more of it. And you'll be like, yes, absolutely, you are 1,000% right. So let's go after those bastards in the food industry. But let's also, if we can be cognizant of it, we can say no. I've given up soda for Lent. I'm probably not going to go back. I don't want to go back after Lent is over. I know it's bad for me. I know it's gumming up my system and slowing me down, and I have felt better without it. But it's up to me to not do it anymore. I mean, this idea that we're all so helpless and we all can't get along and, well, it's just designed that way and then beat it. Use willpower and beat it. Beat Nabisco, beat McDonald's, and I get it. It's hard. I fall victim to it. I had chili cheese Fritos today. Now I got back from the gym. I had a lean turkey sandwich and blueberries. And then later I had some steak and potato soup and some strawberries. Very good. Little high on the sodium count for the soup and whatnot. But for the most part, not dreadful, not awful, not the worst. You can do it. It's just really, really hard. So when I hear the fat acceptance crowd in this debate, I hear them go, oh, well, it's hard. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, keeping yourself in really good shape in a society where we're sitting a lot and our food is poison, you're right. It's really difficult, but it's not impossible. And it is within you to be able to accomplish that. And yes, failing at it sucks. Failing at it is really bad, but failing at it is not the end of the world. You get back up and you try it again. And you know, the craziest thing is the more obese you are, the quicker those first pounds fall off. Because you just start with the calorie deficit part. I mean, if you weigh 300 pounds, do you know how many calories it takes to maintain? There's some people who are like between 300 and 400 pounds where I genuinely, I don't know how they keep it on. Forget keeping weight off. I don't know how they keep it on. It's like you have to be eating high octane garbage all day long and just sitting and not moving to get that big. So I highly recommend the Jillian Michaels thing. I highly recommend the, what do they call it? The Jubilee thing where it's her versus a bunch of overweight people. And you know, is it too late for us to turn it around health-wise? Maybe. But there's still people out there fighting the fight. Millionaire with $5. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, buddy. Let's have us a good night tonight, huh? Let's have us a good night tonight. Let's keep throwing in, keep knocking out memberships and everything else. Thanks for starting us off, Millionaire. Hulkamasha Baby says 223.8. Don't lie to us. Why do you do that? I think it was this morning. All right, fine. Right now it's 224.8. You know, you puff up during the day. It was like 223.6 this morning. But I round down. I round down. Rabbi Smoothie says the rest of us don't get addicted. That's great, man. That is awesome. That's fantastic that you stay away from that shit. That shows good discipline. Trust the Secret Squirrel Plan says just cut the sugar out permanently and you'll lose weight pretty fast. That's good advice too. That involves you got to be reading the nutritional facts. You got to be reading ingredients because, man, the amount of shit that has sugar in it, it would knock your socks off. I've heard that white bread is terrible for sugar. White bread, like it converts. One slice of white bread has 1.5 grams of sugar in it. Although some brands can have up to 4 grams, white sugar is used to activate yeast. It is often added for flavor and to aid browning. White bread is refined carb that causes rapid blood sugar spikes. Yeah, so bread's bad. And then, yeah, just all sugars in general. Not good. Von Head Rex says phosphoric acid leaches the calcium. Osteoporosis is mostly caused by soda consumption. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. 09 Canyon says I need to drop about 25 to 30 pounds and build some muscle. I don't own a scale because I get obsessive about it and focus on the number, not health. That's not a bad idea. But that's great if you can do that. I'm terrified that if I don't get a scale, my weight will take off. If I don't have a scale, I'm like 225 is the absolute high water mark for me. I will not go higher than that. I'm not buying bigger shirts. I'm not buying bigger pants. I'm between an L and an XL right now, and I want to be as close to that L as I can. This is a large. I want to stay in this. I'm not buying new clothes. I'm old. I don't need new clothes. Roots Calhoun says, I'm fat as shit because I have money to eat. Well, you know, and that's the other problem is that you don't really need a lot of money. In fact, the less money you have, the shittier food you eat. We're one of the few countries in the world, because of the poison that our food is, we're one of the few countries in the world whose biggest problem we have amongst our poor is obesity. Wild, right? Crazy shit. Carlos Cameo says, and a big one for people, cut the drinking. That'll help. Yeah, not drinking. I mean, I had one beer this weekend while I was doing drywall with my neighbor. And I had that one beer and I was just like, yeah, this is it. I already started to feel puffy. It was summer shandy because I'm a dandy. Summer shandy for the dandy. And I had one of those, and by the time I was done with it, I'm like, I don't want a second one. Oh God, this is going to be so gay. But I do have something I highly recommend. I'll go grab it later in the show. I just saw it at the liquor store. I had it while I was in Clearwater Beach, Florida. Now shut up. It's a Japan. I'm too far gone. It's a Japanese strawberry seltzer. And I think it's called like 189 or something like that. It's really good. And I really do like it. But yeah, I'm almost scared to drink nowadays because just the way it makes you feel and the way it slows you down. And for me, it's like it's becoming like one drink every month and a half. And it's not conscious. It's not on purpose. It's just, I can have a water, or I can have, throw a little powder in my water, a little flavor powder. I can have that. And I won't feel bloated and I won't get all sleepy. But I am going to sound gay when I talk about it. Fuck you, dude, with $5. Savory. Thank you for the savory. Fuck you, dude. And keep those fives fresh and keep them coming. And how about those gifted memberships? I want to see Trust the Secret Squirrel Plan get a membership tonight. Thank you guys very much. I am fascinated by what the audience thinks about this, so I'm gonna chill out in the chat just for a little bit. Wanhead Rex says, I can shop in the children's section. Kids are so fat these days. Or maybe you're just twinkish. Or both. It could be both. Kids' clothes could be really big. Or you could be a wafer-shouldered twink. You let me know what is the higher probability. I can't see you. Roots Calhoun says, wait. I eat well, just to clarify. Oh, yeah, you don't want to be seen as black, do you, Roots? God forbid that you're a Takis guy. Soylent Goy says, losing fat is easy. It's just a slow process done right. Yeah, I mean, even aggressive weight loss is done a pound a week. So it's one of those things, like it's everything in life, whether it's, the United States budget deficit or getting yourself out of debt or anything else. You didn't accumulate it all overnight. You're not going to get rid of it overnight. And you have to come to grips with that. You have to be at peace with that. You didn't get to 350 pounds all at once. It's not going to come off all at once. But responsible weight loss, shit, it's a pound a week, man. That's 4 a month. That's 50 pounds a year. Consider 1 year of your life and you drop 50 pounds. That's a pretty responsible drop. And yeah, there are things where you change your diet and you fast and you hit it really hard and you drink nothing but water. And yeah, maybe you'll do a crash diet where you lose 50, but then that has to be immediately followed up with some workout regimen and diet regimen that backs that up. Because the more people lose in like the crash stuff, those are the people that put it back on faster than anybody else. There is no shortcut, man. It has to be a lifestyle change. And look, I'm preaching as someone who can't do it. I'm preaching as someone who continuously tries. And the most embarrassing part about me is I am physically active. I am at the gym 3 to 5 days a week. One of those days a week is intense sparring, boxing training. I mean, it's as hard as it gets. And I'm a puffy bitch. I mean, and the older you get, the more difficult it is, but it can be done. Roots Calhoun, okay, I'm at the chat now where they're talking to me about my, what do you call it? My seltzer, my Japanese seltzer. And I'm seeing fucking gay ass drink in the chat. Wagyu flavored sake. Root says, does this guy know how to party or what? Kraken Slappin says, strawberry seltzer, that's just called gay juice. Well, then it's called gay juice. Rust Belt says, I'm 240 and wear a large t-shirt. I don't have twig legs like you. That hurts. Actually hurts a lot. They're called Deontay Wilder legs. Wally World says, what is the most and least you weighed in the last 10 years? Last 10 years. So that would be 29. I probably smooched 210 for a little while there. And then the heaviest I've ever been, I saw 235 or 237 on the scale once, and I about hanged myself in the bathroom. So when I was about 29 or 30, I was about 31 because I was divorced. I was about 31 or 32. And I was, when I was about 31 years old, I was 237 for a day. And I saw a video of myself at a live event we were doing for the station, and I had back titties, and I just about caved my own head in with a pipe. And I'm like, you know what? Let's fuck off with the getting bigger. But yeah, 210 is my smallest. That was during the Molly and not eating a lot phase. 210 was probably my lowest. And now, like I said, it's between 220 and 225. And I'd like to chill out at 215 if I could. Fuck you, dude, says, I don't drink because I'm a raging alcoholic and I know I shouldn't. Okay. All right. St. Caesar says, Aaron, have you tried reaching out to Diamond Dallas Page for a weight loss journey? He saves life. Well, it would be a short journey. It would be embarrassing. It would be 10. Oh, Aaron, you got your 10 pounds. Get the fuck out of my house. There we go. 2 months. Mountain Jew says, I dropped 100 pounds in 1 year and I've kept it off for 20 years so far. Great job, man. Attaboy. But it's like being an alcoholic. It's like anything else. It becomes a lifestyle, one day at a time, kind of. Rusty Grammar says, I'm probably going to quit drinking because it doesn't do anything except cost money. Look, summertime's coming. I'm going to want an old-fashioned and a cigar on the deck from time to time. I will. When I go to the lake, I'm going to want to have a few beers. Getting drunk now, and it can still be fun. But getting drunk now, and I don't know how many of you are around my age, 39, it just exacts such a toll physically. The risk reward analysis is really evening out to like the reward being less as you get older. So, and there's so many things that taste good, you know, like I wish Celsius didn't taste good. Because that is fucking crack cocaine in a can. But it's good. And I don't feel like shit after. I really don't. I don't get a crash from Celsius. But boy, do I feel like a goddamn crank monkey when I'm on it. And I do mean on it. Rabbi Smoothie says you lost 125 pounds last April. Oh, yeah. God bless the dead weight. Hobo Chili says, Aaron, stop lying. If you were at the gym every day of the week, there would be some. I didn't say every day of the week. 3 to 5 days a week, though. I've been working out for a very long time. You are absolutely lying. Should we go on my Y app? Should we go on my YMCA app for Hobo? Because I can see that he's very worried. Let's see. Punch card. There we go. Let's see. So last week, 3 times last week. The week before that, 4 times, and that's with bursitis in my shoulder. That's pretty hardcore. 4 times the week before that. And then you have to add 1 day a week because I go to the new boxing gym. And that's sparring day. So yeah, it's 4 to 5 days. Hobo, look, my legs are in much better shape than they used to. I'm very happy about where my legs are at. My shoulder and chest are broadening out again, but like that always happens. When I take a break from the gym, everything just kind of, and then when I go back to the gym, it all kind of comes back out. But yeah, there's definitely results. But the other thing about it is I eat like fucking dog shit. I really eat like dog shit. Got to get a handle on it, man. Wally World gifting 5 memberships. What a guy. Look at this guy. Anybody else got 5 in the holster? That's great.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Look at Wally World coming up big tonight. Thank you, pal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. What a great start to the evening. Thank you. Let's get a couple more people who want to do that. And not only will we be good, but I will also have to be here until 9 o'clock. Rust Belt, Jane says, No Pen 15 and Stoned Out all got memberships from that. Great work. Oh, and James J. Weed also got it. MSO says there's a Colombian diet where you can easily lose 30 pounds in 1 month. Yes, I hear it's pioneered by Scarlett. I forgot her name. Ralph's wife. Let's just call her Scarlet Ralph at this point. She's Scarlet Ralph. I hope it happens, and I hope they have a baby. I hope Ethan and Scarlett have a baby. I'm going to go on record as saying that right now. Eulogy says, my 17-year-old cheerleader daughter likes Celsius. Well, I can't help it that we both have really, really good taste. No, it's very, very bad for you. Very, very bad for us. Joe Smash says, the gym is great, but you don't have an active job. You're not wrong. The thing I've always said about doing this is I'm blessed to be able to go out in the middle of the day and go to the gym. A lot of people don't have that option. And yes, not having an active job absolutely stings. On days I don't go to the gym, my physical activity is in the toilet. You're absolutely right about that. Hobo Chili says, I made him show his YMCA attendance. What a maroon. See, I will say this. You can't let people like Hobo dictate shit. Because you just have to do what you want to do, because a guy like Hobo can't lose. Either you won't show it, you're a pussy, or I made him show it. So what you have to do is go, I don't give a fuck what Hobo says. Hobo will think in his head that he won either way. And for you, you just have to do whatever the hell you want to do. You need me more with $1. Thank you. Says Aaron, are you saying Wally World or Wally Word? It's Wally World, right? I've been saying Wally World this entire time. Oh, shit. My fucking brain just got fried. My whole world got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. This entire time, unless there's a guy called Wally Word and there's a guy called Wally World, for well over a year, 2 years now? For 2 years, maybe longer, I have been calling this man Wally World. And thanks to You Need Me More, I just went and read it, and for the first time ever, I have now realized that the man who gifted 5 memberships is Wally Word. Wow. MSO says Mandela effect, right? I hopped from a different dimension. It's been Wally World, isn't it? Has anyone else seen Wally World? Have you been seeing Wally World this entire time? Because I have. Wally Word. Oh, see, now it's so weird. Everyone give 5 memberships for my fuck up. Wally Word says it's supposed to be Wally World, but I spelled it wrong, and fucking Rumble won't let you change the spelling. Unbelievable. Historically White says he's illiterate.
Oh, buddy!
What? Wow. McBuster says, way to go, Fetterman. That very few things stop me in my tracks. That's one of them. Millionaire. Oh, Millionaire, don't do this. This is like an anti-steel toe cope when I try to have fun with them. No, fuckface, you're the one that claims a win every time. Do you know why I do that? Don't make me give away my secrets on how I control these people like puppeteers. I do that because it's the internet and it doesn't fucking matter, and I know it upsets them. They're so easy to manipulate. I make them, as they like to say, feel constantly. I'm the creator of making people feel. I invented it. I should get rent, but I already live rent-free in their head. No, I think the declaring victory thing is hilarious because it means absolutely nothing to me, and I know it just triggers the fuck out of people. So I kind of get to play puppeteer a little bit. Thank you, Millionaire. And thank you guys for an amazing start to the program. Keep it going, though. That's always the problem with the toe, is we get off to that great start and we take our foot off the gas pedal. Keep your foot on the gas pedal and let's call it a win for the toe. Taste Fairy Ialto says, you're exposing the goddamn business. I know. Millionaire made me expose the business. Millionaire says, you also claim you don't spend your life on the internet, but you really do. I know they need that to be true, but I'm telling you, I just don't. I know you need to feel like you're not shittier than me. But if you're spending all your time online, guess what? You're shittier than me. I know you don't want to believe that the guy you like hate with all your heart and soul. I know you don't want to believe he's doing well without you because you're jaded, but I promise you he is. And another thing that makes me feel very, very good. Thank you, Millionaire. Millionaire and I are, by the way, are working together to make me look really good and trigger the shit out of everyone else. So thank you, buddy. And scene. Thank you very much. 220 of you checking out the toe right now. Keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe, keep hitting follow. Rumble doing solid on its way up, but I fucked up YouTube tonight. That's on me. I really am a stupid bag of shit. I really did fuck up the YouTube thing today. I'll get the new streaming shit figured out. Well, I do have it figured out, but I fucked it up this evening. Rabbi Smoothie says, are you saying millionaire or million hair? See, I fucked it up. Now I watch everybody's name. God, I really triggered the shit out of Millionaire too. I thought he was a pro steel toe guy, but boy, did I fuck him up. He goes, go ahead and make your own reality. Bro, that's your problem. This isn't reality. This is a show. Everything you're seeing on here. Now, if you're mentally well adjusted, I don't need to explain this because everybody just kind of knows what they're watching. Bro, this is a show. I'm really sorry to let you down. I didn't know Millionaire was so easily triggered, though. I really apologize. Oh, I've triggered the shit out of this felt toe guy on YouTube, too. I have an idea. Oh, Felt Toe's living in absolute delusion. This is fantastic. Let's say goodbye to Felt Toe. Bye, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
What? Wow, I love I don't love fucking them up because it does bring out an ugly side of me. But it is a side that is really effective. I will say that. And they don't like being exposed for it. All right, let's jump into our next thing. Oh, we got the Alan Richson thing. My dad loves this dude. He loves this show, Reacher. He's a boomer. So they all have like their Chuck Norrises, rest in peace. Their John Waynes, they're beating the shit out of guys. And like, yeah, that's my dude. Kind of like millennials have John Wick. Or the really sad, losery ones have the Arthur Fleck Joker or Tyler Durden. Or the really fucked up, sad white boys have, Patrick Bateman. Now, the boomers, they like the guy who just comes in and beats the shit out of people. So my dad is a Reacher fan. That's how I know about Alan Richson. Well, apparently, Alan Richson does a thing, they say in the wrestling business, where he, quote, lives the gimmick. Because he beat his neighbor's ass in front of his kids in his neighborhood. And we've got the clip of the fight. And then we have a response from the neighbor who got his ass whooped by Alan Richson. And I have to say, I don't think Alan Richson was in the wrong here. In fact, the more stuff that keeps coming out today, the more we're finding out that he didn't instigate the fight with his neighbor. Now, we're going to hear from the neighbor in a little bit here, and apparently he does not agree with that summation of what happened, but they're starting to lean towards Richson was not at fault. So let's see what happened here. This is in their neighborhood. There's a disagreement about being on bikes and going too fast in the neighborhood or whatever. And there's an ass whooping, and that's where everything starts. So there's Alan Richson. He's now This is the danger of posting things online and stuff going viral and everybody making a big deal out of it is people want to have the hot take. They want to have the right away hot take. They'd rather be first than be right. So we see Alan Richson, big bad reacher dude, pounding the fuck out of a guy who's on the ground, and we assume, oh, that big bully, that roided out freak monster, he's just beating the shit out of this poor guy. And he's just wrecking him. The guy gets back up. He took a good shot. Oh, he's wobbling, though. Oh, he's weaving. Oh, he's not in great shape. His equilibrium's a little bit off. So now Richson is getting back on the bike. Whoa. That didn't work out. So he gets back on the bike. The neighbor's yelling at Richson. And then the neighbor's coming back for more after he was just on his knees getting pummeled in the head. And now he's going to take off on the bike. All right. And then there go his kids. So the kids just saw dad beat the shit out of a guy right in front of them. And now that was the story up until this morning was the neighbor whose name is Ronnie Taylor. He was the victim. And Alan Richson is this big, bad Hollywood bully who's just throwing his weight around in the neighborhood and kicking his neighbor's ass. His neighbor even went on TMZ to not only admit I'm the guy who got my ass kicked, but to give his side of events. And this is how it went.
It started on Saturday morning when...
he's British. He's guilty.
I'm an experienced motorcycle rider. I've been riding bikes all my life. So, from dirt bikes to street bikes and etc. But I'd heard this incestuous revving and speeding through our neighborhood of the motorcycle. I eventually saw the guy on Saturday. I didn't know who it was. And I sort of flippantly said, "Guy, he was quite away." And I said, "Can you just slow it down, please?"
By the way, I love when people tell about neighborhood fights, and when it's them, they're always so mild-mannered and reasonable when they tell the story, and you just highly doubt that you said it like that. I just said, "Can you slow it down, please?" And then he went all gorilla and beat the shit out of me for no reason. I doubt it was, "Can you slow it down, please?"
And then there are numerous people in my neighborhood who caught all of this on Ring doorbells of him speeding through the neighborhood. And on Sunday, when I was cleaning my bike outside my house, he rode past once, twice, and on the second time, I walked out in front of him, and I said, "You've got to stop. Someone's going to get hurt."
Yeah, see, he was just looking out for everybody else. Wasn't his fault. He just went, "Hey, man, I'm trying to be reasonable with you, you psycho. You need to stop before somebody gets hurt. I'm just looking out for everyone else in the neighborhood." And then he went crazy and just started whooping the guy's ass. I mean, that sounds totally believable. Happens all the time. I mean, not in that neighborhood, but some neighborhoods.
And it escalated quite quickly from there. I did push him because he was coming towards me on his...
Well, that's interesting. We kind of glossed over that part. We kind of glossed over the "I pushed him a little bit" part. It's fascinating.
On his bike. He did it again for a second time. I pushed him a second time. And I think the second time he got off his bike and it kicked the crap out of me. And you can see he hit me in the back of my head. I went to the ground and covered myself. I've had such a shitty day today, and I don't wish the guy any malice or ill will, but we just don't need people riding through neighborhoods like this. And I just decided, I'm take a stand because someone else has to, because it's going to end up way worse than it could have.
That's amazing. Wow, that guy's really like a sacrificial lamb for the goodness of the neighborhood, This Ronnie Taylor is just, everybody poses for pictures with their scars and their scratches and everything to put it up on screen and put it up on the internet so everyone knows he's a victim. This guy, like I said, just seems like he was a good man who was trying to be reasonable and protect everyone in the neighborhood. And this crazy Alan Richson, this reacher guy, just comes out and starts beating the piss out of him. Well, we found out this morning that Alan Richson did not instigate the fight with his neighbor. He was pushed off his motorcycle twice by the man before the video recorded beatdown according to sources close to the actor, including neighbors. So some of his neighbors are coming forward and going, look, we started recording when we started recording. But before we started recording, this guy had pulled him off of his bike twice. Now, he may have been going too fast through the neighborhood. Sure, that might be the case. Call the authorities if you're a bitch. Send him the Ring doorbell footage, and they can come to his house and tell him, hey, you slow down now, pal. He'll go, okay, whatever. And then the day goes on. But the minute you push him off his bike, not once but twice, you might get your ass whipped for that. And it sounds like that's exactly what happened. So, like, the balls of this guy to, like, take pictures on social media and go, oh, look at what Reacher did to me. And then to go on TMZ and bring up this sob story about how he's just looking out for everyone in the neighborhood. What a douche. Now I don't believe a word of his story where he's like, I told him nicely. No, he probably said, hey, you big retard. Quit going so fast, you cunt. And then pushed him off his bike. Yeah. The guy's like 6'6", 285 pounds. He's going to kill you for that. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Alan Richson is innocent. And keep your fucking hands to yourself. How about that? R. Lindquist with $5 says, you only knew him because of your dad? You never watched Blue Mountain State? No offense if you like Blue Mountain State. It is one of the cheesiest, shitty shows. I would say, I won't say shittiest, most overrated. I mean, it is, dude, honestly, it makes American Pie look like In Bruges. It makes it look highbrow. It makes it look deep. Blue Mountain State is for retards. God bless you if you like it. That's wonderful. Maybe I'm being a little aggressive about it. But Blue Mountain State is absolute shit. Absolute shit. Easy over on YouTube says, hey, going to the Y to scope dudes in the locker room doesn't count as working out. What? Now you tell me. How dare you? Where were you I thought it counted. Pray by 12 says, hi, Aaron, how are you doing? Oh, by the way, how is SP doing? Lots of love. SP is doing wonderful. SP is doing great. We've been getting a lot of kids time in. We've been getting a lot of documentary time in. Settled into a nice rhythm, I think. It's chilling. I love it. I really do like it. I'm a very happy person. But not like in a, unstable, happy kind of way, like serene, peaceful, or as Corey Feldman would say, feeling quite serene. That's how I can fuck with people like Millionaire and forget about it the minute the show's over. My real life is fantastic. There's a shitload of things to look forward to that I enjoy every day. So I can fuck with Millionaire, trigger the shit out of him, and make him write in angrily. I like having that power. I abuse it, though. T-Jeff says, I remember you raving about how funny it was. Blue Mountain State? You never heard me say anything good about Blue Mountain State. I have never liked it. I watched like 15 minutes of one episode, and I'm like, this is for abject retards. It's totally shit. Pray by 12 says, oh, by the way, you got the cutest dibbles? Fuck our dibbles. I don't like it when you guys compliment me because I worried it's some kind of physical deformity. What are... This is my relationship I've had with my audience since 2007. When they say anything nice to me, I start to get worried. When they say harsh things, I'm like, oh, they're still fans of the show. This is good. A dibble or dibbler is a pointed hand tool used in gardening to poke holes in soil for seeds, bulbs, or seedlings. I don't think you meant to say my dibble, but I appreciate the compliment. Would you says, did he mean dimples? I don't know. I don't know what he meant. I just know that it was supposed to be a compliment. T-Jeff says, unless you only like Blue Mountain State because of April, because that was the time frame I remember you saying how much you liked it. No, she liked it, and she was retarded. So, like, she liked dumb shit. So, like, I Oh, God, I really did hate like almost everything she really liked. Great. I know. Great match. Game of Thrones was one she introduced me to. That one was good. But but Blue Mountain State, like some of the shit, it's just like when people are 8 years apart, there's just going to be fucking dumb shit that you're already over. $2 from Veldrain says, in the words of Lindsey Graham, sausage. We do have the sausage drop. Victor did send me the sausage drop today. Where we've got to have it. Gotta have it. By the way, guys, keep the memberships going on Rumble. Let's not dry up. Let's start well and let's end well. Right now things are going well, and I feel bad that I got to stay on you, but I know my history. Keep it going, even if it's 2 and 5 at a time. Let's roll. Let's kill it. We're doing great, and I want to keep doing great, and I want to keep jumping from topic to topic on the show and have a fun hang tonight. So, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's go. All right, we got to figure out which one we're going to take out of here because I only want to have one page of drops, and there's always shit that we just don't use. I still like...
The Almighty says,
I still like
don't
that
change
one.
the subject, just answer the fucking question.
How about this one?
The guy's a Jew.
Because we have a lot of Jew shit. We have two
Jews
Fuentes
be Jewing.
Jew drops.
Niggas be niggaing.
We got to keep that one. All right, so we'll get rid of that one. And then in its place, we're going to put Lindsey Graham holding a sausage. This was such a great clip from this morning's show. Is Lindsey Graham the warmonger trying to say, hold us hostage? And it just sounds like the old queer said, hold a sausage. Here you go.
Hold a sausage.
He loves it. He loves holding sausage.
Hold a sausage.
Lindsey, what are you going to do after your votes tonight?
Hold a sausage.
That's, you know what? Good for you, buddy. You know what? I'm glad you can finally be who you are. Favorite thing to do on a family vacation?
Hold a sausage.
That's good. That's good. What does Benjamin Netanyahu do when you head to Israel?
Hold a sausage.
Really? That's amazing. All right. Lindsey, what is it that you do for Donald Trump that makes him trust you so much?
Hold a sausage.
All right. What do you suggest I do to make the goal go quicker tonight? Because even though they're off to a good start, I get so nervous and it wrecks the show and it's all my fault. What do you recommend I do in order to get them to contribute to the program early and often so we can just knock this thing out early and do a show?
Hold a sausage.
All right. He really does seem like a one-trick pony, to be honest. Shane F. says, YouTube cut your poor-ass feed when you were 12 short this morning. Well, don't worry about it. We drilled it. We nailed it. And we even went over, because I fucked up the count. We went over by 10 this morning. So thank you, guys. Now, let's follow Wally Word. I should say Wally. I'm sticking with Wally World. I really am. I'm sticking with Wally World. You guys keep going. 2s, 5s, gifted memberships. Or, you know what? Red Boys are great. Red Boys are an easy one. Go ahead and do it. All right, let's talk about this. I want your guys' opinions on the owner of OnlyFans or creator of OnlyFans dying. By the way, 238 of you checking out the show tonight. It's official. I fucked up YouTube. I really dicked that up. Our YouTube numbers are dead this evening because I fucked up the stream. Damn. Rumble, you guys are doing great. You're going to have to carry the load. Throw in, what do you say? So the founder of OnlyFans died at the age of 43 from cancer, proving that what he was doing was remarkably sinful and he was punished for it. A lot of people are celebrating today. It doesn't feel right to I wouldn't say celebrate a guy dying. Anytime there's human life, there's potential. So I don't know about celebrating his death, but certainly what he brought into the world left it a worse place than before he was here. Leonid Radvinsky, the owner of OnlyFans, who was really reclusive, didn't come out in public a lot. And you know, that's pretty common with smut peddlers. I think because so many people find what they do to be immoral and evil and awful and corrosive to your soul and really the soul of society in general. So he didn't come out a lot. The guy who owns Pornhub, he doesn't come out ever. He's completely reclusive. I think he lives in a brownstone in the UK, and he never comes out. In fact, I can't even remember what the guy's name is. Very few photos of him, anything. But all these guys care about is having shitloads of money. I mean, who cares if they don't go out and enjoy it? They just want to stack more and more dollars. For what reason? I don't know. And all of it just off of degeneracy, grossness, and the degradation of human decency. So the guy, Leonid Ravinsky, the guy who created OnlyFans, dies at 43. He had cancer. It had been a long battle. And, you know, I don't think that OnlyFans has been positive for us. I also don't want it to be made illegal or banned. Because when you ban something and you tell people you can't do it, then you haven't made society better. You've just stopped people from being able to pursue it. So the people can still be shitty. The people can still be awful and rotten, and their souls can be corrupt. You just, made it punishable by jail time for them to do the things. I would like it much better if with this guy dying, a conversation springs up and all of a sudden people start going, wow, I never looked at it that way. OnlyFans really is awful and tragic and terrible and evil, and it really is corrosive, and it's degrading to women. They don't even know they're degrading themselves, but they are. It's bad for men to be consuming that much intimate content. And like, if a conversation sprung up out of that and then people decided to leave OnlyFans en masse, then that would be great. That would show that the culture has improved. More so than just banning it or taxing it like that guy running for governor in Florida wants to do, Fishback. I don't think that's going to happen, though, because I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of these guys who speak out against OnlyFans and talk about how bad it is are the same guys paying for it, are the same guys who can tell you who has an OnlyFans. I always get curious about those stories where a local teacher is found to have an OnlyFans. And they discover it, and then everybody wants them fired, and all. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's behind a paywall. And OnlyFans is a site that you have to like directly go to, like you have to venture toward it. How did you know? How did we find out that the teacher has an OnlyFans? If everybody in that school district is good and clean and decent and moral, then technically you would never find out if the teacher had an OnlyFans. Unless, the kids find it, then the parents find out that the kids are on it. I think what more likely happens at a lot of these school districts is the dads get caught by the moms and they get pissed and those teachers get ratted out. I'm sorry. I just don't see it ending. I don't see, with this guy dying, just somebody else is going to take the thing over. OnlyFans isn't going to miss a day. What is it? It was making him $1.9 million per day as of 2024. And he was worth $4.7 billion at the time of his death. Like, whoever's running that company after he dies, and there is a succession put in place, I'm sure, whoever ends up running that after he dies they're not going to stop it. They're not going to change too much. It's going to live on because, unfortunately, like anything else, if there's a demand for it and money can be made, we'll keep it going. Radvinsky purchased OF in 2018, transforming the fan subscription service that lets users pay for exclusive content from creators from a niche website to a heavily popular porn business. That's the thing. Like, OnlyFans at one point was like, chefs would be on there and chefs would show you their cooking stuff. And then the pandemic happened and women are like, you think I can fit this in my pussy and in my asshole? And then it just aggressively became that. Thirst traps and more is essentially what OnlyFans became. And it really showed how parasocial and terminally online a lot of us are getting, because one of the draws of OnlyFans, and this is really gross and unfortunate, is it allows you to be closer to the pornographic creator. And the fact that people want to do that and they want to have chats and they'll pay for it. They want to get personalized photos and they'll pay for it. I think that's another step down the rabbit hole that's really, really bad for us. And again, it's another step of that parasocial relationship that people have with creators that creates an unrealistic expectation of access. And now we can thank Leonid Radvinsky for that. And look, we'd all like to think that when he dies, all of this dies with him and we're all better. But because so many people want this and demand it, his creation will outlive him. So in many ways, I think Leonid Radvinsky dying is going to be more depressing to watch his creation live on without him and that piece of him still be alive. So like I said, if this creates a conversation where we all go, wow, this is really disgusting, we should really take a look at ourselves and take a step back from the brink. Man, I would love that. I just don't see it happening. Mountain Jew says, I'm surprised more OnlyFans women haven't been stalked and killed more. I mean, it's happened, right? It has happened. Baba Shab says, you are basically the same thing, but you aren't sticking stuff up your ass yet. I mean, donations for a show, far different than shoving things in my vagina. But, look, we haven't made shit since Wally World, so who knows? That's not true. I'm sorry. I have to apologize to, who was it? I got to scroll up. Veldrain and R. Lindquist. I have to apologize for them because they were contributing. But let's stick that. Let's get things going here so I don't end up shoving anything in my asshole. Thank you very much. Papa Shab says, so you admit you have a vagina. That shouldn't be what we took from that. This is why I kind of hate the evening show and why I realize what a failure it is. Because, here we are having this conversation about OnlyFans, and it's like, this is what we took from it. And I'm like, you know what? The morning show is just so much more fun. Silence Do Good with $2 says 70 of us in here watching. Let's get to 70 likes. Well, you know what I say? There's 250 of you watching the show right now. Let's get to 250 likes. I think that would be appropriate. Please and thank you. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. And I don't think we're going to get to our 300, which is the nice mark for the evening show. 250, I'm not going to sneeze at. That's historically a little bit above that. Our average is about 225, 230 for the evening show. 250 ain't bad. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. And for God's sakes, let's crush a goal tonight and have a perfect Monday. So much easier to start the week perfect. Hey, you ready for a guy that we should absolutely beat half to death with socks filled with soap? Here's a guy at the Pittsburgh airport who was an absolute cunt to his dog. Here we go. Oh, let's play an ad that's Amazon embedded in the thing first. You assholes. I'm already. Momentum has completely died on my program for tonight. Now you play an ad as well. Well, it just gives me one more chance to say, we do this show for money. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's try to have a good one. No, I mean, keep going. I mean, let's just do the gayest fucking Amazon ad forever. Here we go. No, and then start it muted. That's fine, too. Tonight's a disaster. You know what? Mark it. 7:10. It took an hour and 10 minutes. Tonight's show has become a disaster, in my opinion. The sweat will commence shortly.
Allegheny County police say a man is facing charges after a dog was found loose outside Pittsburgh International Airport. They later identified 42-year-old Omar Perez of Texas as the owner. Investigators say the puppy was spotted running near the departure curb. Police say he initially claimed an Uber driver left the dog, but later determined he abandoned it after realizing he couldn't bring it on his flight. The puppy is now in foster care, and Perez is facing multiple charges.
What a cunt. So this guy couldn't bring his dog on the plane. So his solution is not, well, maybe I Uber home. Maybe I take a train. Maybe I try to figure something out. I try to find a flight where I can stow the dog, something like that. Instead, he goes, no, I got an idea. I'll just leave him in the airport and abandon the little bastard. What a dick. You know what? Make this guy fly in the cargo hold. You know, in one of those little pet carrier things and the little cage deals. Let's make him do that. I think that's a proper punishment for this one. I have a new puppy. Oh, really? That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, but they wouldn't let me bring him on the plane. Oh, that really sucks. I'm sure you're going to, have to find some other way to get back to Texas from Pittsburgh. It's a hell of a drive, but, you decided to bring the dog. No, I figure I'd just cut him loose and abandon him and leave him to the world. Fuck you. There's no, and the thing is, we don't take the animal abuse thing very seriously. I know, Mike Vick went to jail for a while. Michael Vick went to prison for what, 2 years, year and a half, somewhere around there. But, he had to, electrocute him. Mike Vick had to have a body count. He had to have a doggy body count. There had to be corpses for Mike Vick to go to jail for, a year and a half or 2 years. This guy just let the dog loose in the airport. Plenty of food, plenty of people, everything else. Somebody's going to take care of the guy. So they're going to, no harm, no foul this thing, and the dog's going to be fine. And then, so they'll say, well, the guy, let's give him some probation. We'll fine him a little bit. Off he goes. We really don't give that much of a shit. Does anyone have this guy's home address? I'll drive down to Texas from Minnesota to kill that guy. Jesus. Baba Shab says, N has to play football, though, Aaron. That's true. They probably should have locked Mike Vick up for longer, but, he still, as he showed when he hooked up with the Eagles, he still had some juice in those legs. How long did Mike Vick go to jail? Wasn't long. 19 months. So he did a year and 7 months. Followed by 2 in home confinement, though. He was confined to his gigantic mansion for 2 months. So a little over a year and a half for killing a dog. Not a dog, killing a shitload of dogs. Shane F. says Mike Vick was imprisoned for pit bulls doing what pit bulls do. He didn't cut the government in on it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I bet you barely get punishment for leaving a dog at an airport. All right, eerily quiet. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I'll be back in the chat a little bit later. This was completely fucked up. And, by the way, this is going to be a religious story, so feel free to just abandon me and bitch that I'm talking about anything religious. I really don't fucking care. I really don't give a shit. If we were rolling in it tonight and then somebody went, why are you doing a religious story? I'd be like, you know what? They're paying a lot. I should probably ease up. But I care about this story, so I'm going to do it. So if I'm doing it to nobody, really don't fucking care. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, throw a couple of bucks our way, see if we can accomplish something tonight. Morning show off to a great start. Would like to see the evening show do the same. An Episcopal pastor. Now, the Episcopals, we call them the Frozen Chosen. They're a group of Protestants out there on the peripheral. And, I often wonder in other churches what their guidelines and what their requirements are to become a pastor or whatever your church calls it. Because some of these guys, it's like... It's got to be like a 30-minute online course. So there was a gospel reading not too long ago. And the gospel reading was about Jesus and the Samaritan woman coming to the well and meeting Jesus and accepting him as her savior. And it's a very wholesome story. It's a wonderful story about, finding Jesus, the depth of the well, the purifying, the water of life, the water that gives life eternal, the living water and all of that stuff. It's a really good story. And it's an amazing kind of description of, what Christianity asks you to do in going to Christ, finding Christ, and what the benefits of that are. Or if you're this Episcopal pastor, it apparently means sucking his dick until the semen comes out. I'm not kidding. This is an actual sermon by an Episcopal pastor in... Where the hell was this guy even? I wish they'd give us a location of where the church is. No fucking... Really? You're not gonna... I regret to inform you, Episcopalians. Yeah, it doesn't even say where this guy's church is. This is bad journalism. Terrible journalism. But anyway, this is the Episcopal pastor giving us the story. By the way, thank you, Silence Do Good, for the $5. And thank you very much for coping that we aren't gone and that we're doing better than you want us to be doing. I appreciate you, buddy. And this is the B Show. You should be happy, but you're not. And I do that to you. Never forget how you're dancing to my tune, bitch. All right, let's go.
And then Jesus turns around and says to her, oh, don't worry. If you knew who was asking, you'd ask for living water, and you'd have all kinds of living water, right? Which is a great line. Living water has two meanings in the ancient world. One is probably what you would imagine it would mean. Living water is water like in a clear brook or stream where there are plants growing around it. It's clean water. It's pure water. It is
right. And the savior of mankind probably means that one. It's not Jesus Cosby. Well, you see, if you come to the well and you accept me as your savior, I'll put some Spanish fly in the well and then I'll fuck you in the pussy. That's not what the Bible says. That's not. I want this man investigated. I want his hard drive. Because he even gave the two choices. Well, living water like a brook surrounded by plants and wildlife and running water and clean water. Yeah, that's probably what the savior of humanity and God had in mind. Not suck my dick, bitch. That's probably not what he meant.
Life-giving water. So living water is beautiful water, right?
Okay, so now, creepy, why don't you give us the most fucked up interpretation of it and then try to pitch that as an idea so then we can all chase you out of the church with pitchforks?
The second meaning is a little bit more problematic. Well, not problematic. It's right in line with everything else that's going on. You see, it's a pun.
Don't.
And this is something the Gospel of John loves to do. There's a pun in almost every story in John.
Or is there a pervert reading it and takes it that way? And you guys call us Catholics fucked up. This guy hasn't even said the fucked up part yet, and I'm already not okay with it.
So what is living water? Buckle up.
I'm about to be a giant fucking perv for no reason.
Living water is a first century euphemism for semen.
All right, we did that at church. Okay, that's been done. So Jesus is saying to the Samaritan woman, suck on my Holy Spirit until the living water comes out? No, Pastor. In fact, everyone should get up and run this guy out of there immediately. And then go to the Catholic Church and repent. If it was good enough for St. Peter, it's good enough for you.
Good morning.
Why are we laughing? Why are you laughing?
If you want to have real fun, we just did a class on the...
Hey, what was your favorite part of the service today? I thought it had to be when the pastor joked about cum. What the...
Sopranos. And we dropped the F-bomb about 1,000 times, I think. So...
That's a
God's
sin.
Part of all of it, friends. God's part of all of it. She thinks it is, well, the more innuendo level. Jesus is talking on a different level. And so the next line, if you know that this is an innuendo, if you know that this is a comment, is hilarious. Because she literally goes, hey, buddy, you ain't got a bucket. How you going to give me that living water?
Well, investigate him. Investigate him immediately.
It's funny. It's a funny line.
Every time I see a service from another church, I have to find out if there are any fans watching the show. First of all, no. Second of all, I have to find out if there are any fans from that denomination. And I ask you, you're now responsible for this. Explain this to me. Is this what you guys do? By the way, I have Silence Do Good fucking feeling and coping so hard in the chat right now. He's arguing because he wants our numbers to be lower. I feel so good I can't act like I feel bad for him. I've got Silence Do-Good wrapped. I'm rent-free in this cat's head. Thanks for the $2. Veldrain with $2 says Lindsey Graham approves this message big time.
Hold a sausage.
Yeah.
Hold a sausage. Hold a sausage.
This guy's holding sausage.
Woman is actually, as a friend of mine said, this woman's talking trash at the well with Jesus. I didn't know that's what the story was about. But they're flirting, and they're joking, and they're teasing.
So he's saying that the woman at the well is trying to suck Jesus's dick. Bro, we got to get this guy out of there. This is not a spiritual leader. This is a guy. Are Episcopalians allowed to get laid? Because if so, there's no excuse for this level of pent up. Other than he's doughy as all hell. Oh, this guy's creeping me out. He's giving uncle vibes.
And at no point does Jesus condemn her. In fact, just the opposite. He laughs and he flirts back and he goes, no. I'm talking about a water of life and of hope. I'm inviting you into a deeper conversation with God, but that's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what Jesus said. The woman went, hey, I came here to get water from the well. He's like, well, I am your savior. And oh, you really are my savior. Yes, and now you will be filled with living water. Oh, so you want me to fuck you? And he's like, oh, no, of course not. But that's hilarious. Where the fuck are these people coming from? And again, you guys call us Catholics weirdos. I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, Baba Shab says, Jesus, the notorious flirt. Oh, man. Darkwind says, I wonder how many people walked out in disgust. I don't know. A lot of them laughed, so who knows? But apparently Jesus just laughs off, dick sucking vibes. Kelly Cat says Jesus didn't condemn her because she didn't mean it the way you just said it, you asshole. That's what he said, Kelly, you moron. He said it was semen. He said she meant it as semen. I'm sorry, Kelly, I yelled at you. But you weren't understanding. You were being thick. Don't be thick in front of me, Al. Thank you very much to Joe for the $10. Joe Smash says, I refuse to buy a membership. This is how I pay. Thank you very much for the 10. All right. Let that be the start of a rally, and let's just gift a shitload of memberships and see if Joe Smash gets one. Oh, Silence Do-Good with another $2. He says, yet you're afraid to put them on screen. Sad. He's coping. I'll put his next one on the screen. And then the one after that, I won't put on the screen. I want to see how much I can get this idiot to keep coping, keep feeling, keep bending to the will of the toe, and see how much I can squeeze out of him. That would be all right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that little run there. Let's keep it up and get ourselves a win for the toe. We need a win for the toe tonight. I need a nice, clean, perfect day. That's what I need. That's what I need. Rabbi Smoothie gifting a membership. Let's do 1 million more of those. There we go. You've almost got this shit in double digits. Packer backing getting the membership from Rabbi Smoothie. I get fired up for that shit, man. 13 memberships away from 500. Let's do it. Hobo Chili Recipe says, Jesus loves Eric Church. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Some Soper writes, ugh, Protestants. That's what I always try to say. Timebog says he's practicing for a stand-up comedian bit at the Gay 90s. Is that where he's performing next? He's got to work on his chops. I get it. All right, let's jump in. We got to open our next hour's worth of stuff here. While we're doing that, you guys, again, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. 220 is the number tonight. Not good, not bad. Kind of in the middle. Go ahead and hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, hit follow. And again, we need a double win. We need a morning and evening win together. I would appreciate that. I get tired of just, doing a show for the goal and thinking about the goal and then begging for the goal. I want to see you guys. I want to see us knock it out If I didn't believe we had the best show out there, I would feel bad asking. But you know what? I don't want it. I want this show to be unadulterated tonight. It's just, so let's notch ourselves a dub. All right, this piece of shit. We go from one piece of shit to an even worse one. This guy, if we are all not in agreement by the end of this story, you know what? If we're not all in agreement at the 10-second portion of this story, that this guy's got to go in the worst way possible, that he's worse than that Episcopalian pastor, then I think we all got to check our morality a little bit. Let's fire this one up. By the way, I think I ran off Silence Do Good. I think it got to that part where I got in his head. So he's like, oh shit. He kind of got to that checkmate part where no matter what he does, either he's running off like a bitch or he's doing what I'm asking him to do. It's almost like I've done this before. Sorry, buddy. All right, let's go to this guy, and then hopefully something really terrible happens to him.
Hold us hostage.
No, not like that.
That trust and safety was shattered when prosecutors say Jonathan Alvarado raped Camille's 61-year-old mother.
He just walked in, and no one checked or asked, why are you here on a day that you aren't scheduled to be here?
Camille says the horrific encounter was captured on cameras she set up in her mother's apartment.
I was receiving more notifications from her apartment than I usually do while I was at work.
When Camille checked the cameras, she saw a man in her mother's apartment and immediately alerted the facility's caregivers. This is video of them entering her apartment and finding Camille's mother nude and confused.
Oh, God. So, like right there, when you call the police and all they find is that guy chopped to pieces, the police should go, what happened? And like, he just took advantage of this elderly woman. And they were, oh, well, that's totally fine. Who did it? Well, we all did it. We kind of did like a Caesar kind of a thing, like an Ides of March, and we took the guy out together. We pretty much grabbed every semi-sharp object we could find and just started shanking this son of a bitch until he stopped moving. Then we took a few free shots after that, officer. And he goes, that's totally fine with me. By the way, there's this pastor who's talking about Jesus coming on a lady. Maybe you could go pay him a visit.
Are you naked, Mama? Who's the guy who was here?
When Camille reviewed the footage,
him come in, him say that it was my birthday.
She saw a man taking off his clothes and going into her room. Investigators later identified the man as Alvarado. Camille says cameras inside her mother's room captured what happened next.
Can we find out that this guy's illegal, or at least frame him as an illegal, and then deport him right to an MS-13 hot zone? That would be nice. With a DEA snitch tag on him.
He was engaging in a sexual act with my mom.
He had just come from an Episcopalian church service, and they were talking about living water, and apparently it got the guy all 6s and 7s.
Because of her diagnosis, she's not able to consent.
About 2 hours later, Alvarado is seen leaving the room and getting dressed. Camille turned the videos over to investigators. She is now suing La Mirada Heights for $25 million for negligence.
Nice. You'll settle for a nice like $10 million settlement. You'll never have to work again. Incorporate. You'll get to keep, 8 of the 10. After 10, free and clear. Invest 6, keep 2, live off what you make.
When the sheriff's department was attempting to effectuate their arrest, they couldn't find him because the records that the community had on file did not match who he was.
The La Mirada Heights.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's a good sign.
Independent living facility released this statement. The safety and well-being of our residents is our top priority.
Seems
we are
like
disturbed by these allegations and will fully cooperate with any criminal investigation. Because this matter involves an ongoing criminal case and out of respect for the privacy of our residents, it is not appropriate to comment further.
Really? Because of the criminal case or because of the civil litigation that's ongoing? Be honest. We already know.
Alvarado was taken into custody in June, released.
Oh, she's suing him. He's Alvarado. You're suing him for $25 million? Why? I'd sue the facility. We'll go back to this spot, but didn't they say that she's suing Alvarado?
However, because of her diagnosis.
Why would you sue
she's not
him for
able to
$25
consent.
million?
About 2 hours later, Alvarado is seen leaving the room and getting dressed. Camille turned the videos over to investigators. She is now suing La Mirada Heights for...
Oh, no, La Mirada Heights. Okay, so she is I was going to say, why would you sue him? He probably doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Good, she's suing them. Get a nice fat settlement.
And out of respect for the privacy of our residents, it is not appropriate to comment further. Alvarado was taken into custody in June, released, and then not formally arraigned until January of this year.
What the fuck? Why?
He's charged with rape and a lewd act on a dependent adult.
Yeah, take your time. I mean, don't rush the charges or anything. Let him sit around completely free to go and do whatever he wants for 7 months before he sees a judge and gets arraigned.
He's currently out on bond.
The DA, unfortunately, has just moved slower than
no shit
I would have hoped.
The DA's office said in a statement that the sheriff's department did not bring additional victims to our attention. Camille believes this likely happened to her mother on more than one occasion and other vulnerable residents at the facility.
I wouldn't doubt that if not my mother, it could have happened to anyone else.
Yeah, I don't doubt that this guy just did. I don't believe that this guy did this one time and then just magically stopped.
In that facility.
Tonight, after pressing the sheriff's department, it released a statement saying in part, given the predatory nature of the alleged offenses and Alvarado's repeated access to vulnerable elderly individuals through his role, investigators have reason to believe there may be additional unidentified victims.
For sure. Can you say class action? I think there might be. Veldrain with $2 says, Jesus said unto her, swallow, my child. Yeah, that's not what he meant by living water. I'm going to go ahead and say probably not. Oh, my God. I mean, do they have the death penalty? No, they don't. They don't have the death penalty. Do they? I don't think so. I don't think so. One Head Rex says he works in a senior care facility. You know he's a green card. No. He was a volunteer. They said he was a volunteer, not an employee. It's even worse. Not like, I guess not if he was an employee, it would still be bad. Papa Shab says turn him into mush. Yeah, I'm fine with it. However, I don't think the courts should deal with him. I think it should just be, like the governor says, I'll pardon anybody. They get 30 minutes alone with this guy. And you get pardoned inside of that 30 minutes. 09 Canyon says, I'd be willing to whip him with thorny branches and pour a gallon of vinegar over his cuts. He's got to die at the end. Kelly Cat says, I'd tear him apart limb to limb. Limb from limb. Either one. It's fair. Juan Ed Rex says, these senior care businesses are fly by night and dissolve and reform overnight. Yeah, I don't think that... you're going to get $25 million out of them, but you'll get whatever you can. I don't know how much money these places have on hand. Yankee, I'm just letting you know I saw what you wrote. And I'm just choosing not to read it because I don't want that statement on my soul. Thank you very much. 09 Canyon says, I would like to stomp in his face right now, actually. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? All right, I'm going to get out of the chat. Let's rally. Let's go on. Let's get after it. Oh, check this out. Paul Walls is really salty about Catholicism and everything else. You can tell he's another one of those guys who does not like that I'm still here. Well, guess what, buddy? I appreciate you. Boom.
Oh, buddy.
What? Oh, by the way, Mark Turnquist, he's a real fucking stalker creep. Oh, that guy's a weirdo. God, I really do get in these guys' heads, man. I fucking love it. Tonight, look, I'm hoping we knock a goal out tonight, but knowing that I'm still living rent-free in these guys' heads makes me so happy. Another win for the toe. All right, guys, get those memberships. Get everything in there. Let's do it tonight. Let's go. Let's rally up and make it a win. Again, what is it? 13 memberships away from 500 on Rumble. Let's get after it. A United States Post Service mail carrier assaulted a 4-year-old child in Muncie, New York, in Rockland County. This is, now I haven't seen like a news video version of this. All I've seen, USPS worker, 4-year-old. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I have. Oh, now, you know what? Now it's starting to make the rounds. Boy, this took a few days. Take a look at this. I'm thinking that somebody, I'm going to say a certain community probably complained about this over and over until somebody put it on the news. You know what? Here, Bapa Shab should enjoy this one. God damn it, guy.
Of shoving a child, and it was all caught on. Also new this morning, a U.S. postal worker accused of shoving a child, and it was all caught on camera. The video appears to show Gabriel Stan approaching the 4-year-old and then pushing him to the ground.
That's terrible. Okay, that's really, really bad. That's a gigantic 4-year-old, though. Oh, my goodness. That's a tall 4-year-old. Unless, you know, my youngest is 6, and maybe I forgot what a 4-year-old looks like height-wise. But, oh, my God, was that a shot. It's such a mean thing to do that you wonder, what were the kids yelling at him? What sets off a post office worker that bad? Like, you're driving around in the car, right, in the truck, you're delivering the mail, and you take time to get out of the truck and, like, completely Oklahoma drill a 4-year-old. What did that little fucker say?
On camera.
By the way, Bapa Shab's going to love the next part.
The video appears to show Gabriel Stan approaching the 4-year-old and then pushing him to the ground. This happened Friday around 6:30 p.m. in Rockland County on Garden Terrace. That's off Viola Road in Muncie. The child was standing nearby as the mail was being delivered.
Did you guys notice anything about this? I'll go to the chat in a second. You tell me if you noticed anything about the kid.
Witnesses say Stan began yelling before he turned to the boy. He's now being charged with a felony and is expected to appear before a judge at a later date.
All right, so that's all we got out of the story. Now, when I read this story, when I was seeing it first start to go viral on all the, you know, outside the mainstream news websites, there was a big part of the story that they were like highlighting, underlining, emboldening and going, see, look. But they didn't mention it in that story. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You guys are seeing it. Aaron, please find the New York Post article for this. You'll laugh your ass off. You know what? I have the link to the New York Post article. Let's have some fun with it. While I'm doing that, why don't you guys consider a little Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, so I can think we're going to have a decent show tonight and notch a win here on these evening shows that we do to make the budget work for this program. Postal worker busted after violently shoving 4-year-old Jewish boy in NYC suburb. All right. Bapa Shab has told us we're going to laugh our ass off at this. Let's take a look. A Rockland County postal worker was arrested for allegedly violently shoving a 4-year-old Jewish boy to the ground in a shocking caught-on-camera attack. Now, do we have to say allegedly? I mean, it's on tape. He's violently shoving a 4-year-old Jewish boy. I mean, he de-yarmulked him. I mean, that kippah came flying off his head. That's like in football, they say it's a de-cleater hit. That was a de-yarmulke hit. Horrifying security footage obtained by the Muncie Scoop captured the young boy approaching a parked mail truck when the ruthless 39-year-old USPS carrier suddenly turned and aggressively pushed him into the sidewalk of a Ramapo neighborhood Thursday night. The ruthless 39-year-old. The callous worker. Oh, my God. Oh, they are laying it on heavy. The callous worker returned to his truck as the small child knocked onto his back, got up and retrieved his yarmulke that had flown off his head during the violent outburst before walking away. Seems like the kid did walk it off. Tough little fucker. The unidentified mailman was reportedly screaming at nearby children before the youngster approached. Ramapo police said the Stony Point man was cuffed Friday and charged with endangering the welfare of a child and attempted assault in the third degree. All right, we have more in this article. Oh, so far he's a ruthless man. He's a callous man. The little boy picked up his yarmulke before walking back. The attack sparked outrage from local leaders in the predominantly Hasidic and Orthodox Jewish community. Be careful, because those Orthodox Jews, they're the ones that hate Israel. You want them on your side. Baba Shab just had a coronary because I said that. Who condemned the suspect for harming a child and praised cops for their swift action. I have viewed the video depicting... Oh, no, there's a town supervisor. I have viewed the video depicting an incident involving a physical attack on a small child, said Ramapo Town Supervisor Michael Specht. The content of this video is very disturbing. Ramapo police have treated this matter with extreme seriousness and have now arrested the suspect. State Assemblyman Aaron Weeder called the incident appalling and deeply troubling. State Senator Bill Weber also called the USPS worker to face the harshest legal consequence. Oh, my God. If he would have pushed a little black kid, he would have got probation. But he pushed a 4-year-old Jew. I mean, there is something about the visual of like violently shoving any 4-year-old. But when any type of religious headwear flies off while you're shoving him, it adds a little something to it. Like if you were to push a 4-year-old Muslim girl and her hijab went flying, that's going to look terrible. It's not going to be a strike for you. It's going to be one against you. He must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I've heard of constituents who are deeply alarmed by the assault of a young child in the town of Ramapo. I share their concern and outrage. That callous, no good. What are the adjectives they used? The ruthless 39-year-old postal worker. Absolutely ruthless. I thought the same thing. How is that 4-year-old so big? Right? That did seem like a gigantic 4-year-old. Oh, well, we'll have to take their word for it. Had to be 4. All right, guys. T. Jeff says, check the writer. That sounds like a female writer for sure. Let's see. Oh, wow, you nailed it. Anna Young. There you go. Anna Young. 230 of you checking out the toe right now. Rally up, Throw a little something our way. I would appreciate it. We're dancing. We're singing. We're doing everything we can for you. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I mean, we've gotten down there pretty good, but I just have this bad feeling. And these feelings are usually right on. So a little bit of something, a little bit of appreciation. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. I wish I were like one of those shows where people are just throwing in. I really do. I wish I were, I focus too much on doing a show. I wish we were one of those shows where they just, threw it at us. But I'm bound to walk this earth fucking trying to scrape a hundo together to call this a perfect night tonight. Please and thank you. It makes the show go better. It really does. Did you guys see what Cam Scatabo did? First of all, I don't know why we're going to football players for any kind of medical information. I don't know why we'd go to football players for all right, man, we got to figure out what the skinny is on all this brain damage in professional football. You know who we should talk to? Some dipshit retard running back. Some guy who bangs his head into a brick wall 25 times a game. That's who we ought to look to see if, to see what's going on with these players. So apparently Cam Scatabo denied the existence of CTE. Now, first of all, I'm sure the league doesn't want to hear this, seeing as they've been the subject of lawsuits. They've been the subject of criticism about how they handle head injuries and everything else. So to have one of your young running backs, one of your young budding stars go CTE, I think it's a myth, like 9/11 or the Holocaust. You're like, all right, let's just, the NBA has Kyrie Irving, who's always like, black people are the real Semites. We're the original Jews. I think the earth is probably flat and vaccines are bullshit. The NBA's got to deal with Kyrie. The NFL now has to deal with Cam Scatabo going, I think asthma and CTE are bullshit. Here, you know what? You guys take a look at it. You tell me what you think.
You think CTE is a real thing?
No. It's an excuse.
I think asthma is an excuse too.
Yeah.
Is that a hot take?
No, that's a good
That's
take.
valid.
Yes, asthma's fake.
Is there anything?
Asthma's fake. CTE's fake. By the way, you've seen people have asthma attacks, right? It's not they're out of breath. It's like something's obstructing their ability to breathe. It's not like, oh, come on, you just got bad cardio, kid. It's like, no, his body is turning on him. This is a problem. He needs some kind of inhalant, and he needs it right now because this is a bad situation, bro. What? A CTE? Yeah, no, CTE's bullshit. Oh, really? Because like they can scan your brain and like find Swiss cheese holes in it. And that's what chronic traumatic encephalopathy looks like. That's what it is. They can see it. Yeah, I'm not so sure. That sounds like a bunch of crazy Jew doctor talk to me. Like, what? But like, people got mad at him. People got mad at Cam Scatabo. They're like, how could he say that? How could he? He's a dummy football player who's going to have CTE someday. Hey, why do you care? Like, he got in so much trouble for this. And it's like, he shouldn't get in trouble for this. If a medical doctor said it, they should get in trouble for this. Cam Scatabo? Come on. I mean, we know CTE's real. I mean, there's a lot of football players who have ended their own lives, snapped, killed other people. I mean, we know it's real. We know it's a medical thing. Because a 23-year-old who's probably going to be out of the league in the next 5 years says that it's totally fake, come on. And if your kids are believing that CTE is fake because the big dipshit retard running back told you so, you got to be able to have your kids hear more than that, man.
Yes, asthma's fake.
Is there anything worse than when you're in 4th grade and someone's huffing and puffing, you're just soft?
Yeah, just literally
be better.
Breathe the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Cam Scatabo's advice for your asthma attack, just, and I quote, breathe air. See, like, to me, this is like the Kyrie Irving thing, or you know what, or the Bryce Mitchell thing. I have no problem with this because I don't look to Bryce Mitchell and Kyrie Irving and Cam Scatabo for Hitler or, the world being flat or CTE or asthma. To me, we get to watch 23 seconds of a guy being a dipshit. And I really, like, if the world is going to take Cam Scatabo's word for it on CTE, we're already way too far gone. Like, we're long past, not understanding basic modern medicine. If we're like, all these doctors and all these neurologists, they all say the same thing about repeated brain trauma being really, really bad for you. But this guy who couldn't have graduated college without bribing the professors, I think he's got it figured out. And he says CTE is bullshit. Yeah, Cam Scatabo also wants to do WWE when he's done with football. That's fine. Honestly, they've never had any problems with brain injuries. I mean, brain injuries haven't come back to bite them in the ass in WWE either, so it sounds like a match made in heaven. All right, I'll go back into the chat when something happens, guys. Help the show out a little bit. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I'm going on to the next thing. A Brazilian member of parliament trying to protest a trans chair of women's rights committee member decided that she would make her point by dressing in blackface on the House floor in Brazil. I love this. Her name's Fabiana Bolsonaro. Decided that she would have a great visual aid if she put on blackface during a speech in Parliament to demonstrate the absurdity of transgenderism and the claim that a man can become a woman. All right, before we watch this, let's just say this. Based on her side, awesome. Ballsy, let's go. I'm excited for it. What's better? to have somebody put the blackface on as they're speaking, or to have someone dress up in full blackface character and then go up there and start making their speech. Because on one hand, if they start putting the blackface on, yeah, it's very shocking, but they can pull you off the stage. They can, get you off of there before, you make your point. Now, if you go up there all Mr. Bojangled out and go, oh, Lordy, boss, I can't change my gender like I can't change my race. You can get a little patter in there. You can get a little back and forth going. You can maybe even take some questions from the audience. I mean, it's too late to pull you off stage now. Let's see how it went. This is Brazilian politician Fabiana Bolsonaro as she puts on blackface during a debate about transgenderism. And you know something? She's not wrong. We've all kind of been cowed a bit on the trans topic because of political correctness and everything else. But we've all kind of tolerated and nodded and been like, you know what, guys, it's not worth fighting it. Just tell them that they are whatever they are. Although we know that you're born a certain gender and you stay that gender until you die. You can create a Frankenmonster where you put a bunch of artificial shit in your body and you can hack things off and have them build a recreation or a facsimile of what a certain part looks like, but it's never fully real. We've just started saying that because we don't want to get fired from work or we don't want to get shrieked at by a harpy. So she's not wrong that you can't change your gender any more than you can change your race. I just don't know if in 2026 people are going to be receptive to the blackface message. I don't think they're getting the avant-garde there, Andy Kaufman.
Eu sendo uma pessoa branca, vivendo tudo que eu vivi como uma pessoa branca. Agora aos 32
I've lived through everything as a white person.
Me maquiar.
I've decided to put on makeup to dress up as a black person.
Me maquiando e deixando só o fora aparecer.
She's going for it.
Eu pergunto.
So what
E
now?
agora?
Have I become black?
Negra? Eu senti o desprezo da sociedade por
I
uma
felt
pessoa
society's
negra que
contempt
jamais
for a
deveria
black
existir.
person should have never
Eu te
never have
pergunto, você que
existed.
está me assistindo.
I ask you, the one
Eu me
watching me,
pintando
as I
de
paint
negra.
myself black, I feel firsthand the pain that a black person has felt because of racism, because of not being able to get a job. I actually have an aunt who before the 1990s went looking for a job and she is black. She's stopping to reload her black makeup. But then the people conducting the interview said the following: "You're great. I'd really like to hire you, but you're black. And here we don't hire black people." So I ask you, again, she's drawing these parallels to black people, but if you don't have the visual, it doesn't work because she is painting her face and neck black as she's doing it. She's making a good point. She's drawing a great comparison, but as she's doing it, you're also going, what the fuck is she doing? Am I black now? I'm feeling the pain of a mother who has a son who suffers everything he suffers on the streets because he's black. By the way, anyone else kind of realizing that black people, no matter where they are, seem to have it really shitty? Like, Jesus, if she wasn't speaking a different language, you would have no idea she's talking about black people in Brazil. But apparently it's all fucked for them there too. Isn't that it? Isn't that the struggle? This is oh God, she's doing the arms too. She's going blackface and black arms and nobody is taking her down off the stage.
Não adianta eu me maquiar. Eu não sei as dores.
I don't know the pain you've gone through.
Não adianta eu fingir.
There's no point in me pretending. I don't know the pain that black women at that federal government. She got rid of the makeup sponge. Now she's just putting it on her hand and just rubbing it all over her arm. I hope that shit comes off easy. When they slept in the stable. But right now, I'm not black. I'm painted black on the outside. Come on, I identify as black. So why can't I then chair the Commission on Racism, the Anti-Racism Commission? Why can't I advocate for this? Why can't I address the issue? She's going back to more black makeup. And then I see, I come and tell you, do you know why I can't address this? Because I'm not black. I don't know the pain at the core that these people felt. She is making such a good point against transgenderism, but all the pro-trans people can go, she's wearing fucking blackface. Like, I really don't know if the point is being made the way you want it to be made, you know, because of the whole black skin thing. By the way, this is how Roots used to get ready for his rap videos. I don't know what they went through. I can only imagine. I imagine with great anger what they went through, the pain they experienced. But I don't know what they went through. I mean, that's true. If you're a trans woman, you don't understand periods. You don't understand menstruation, puberty, what it's like to be a woman, to have the insides of a woman, the reproductive system of a woman, even the fat placement, the muscle mass, the bone density of a woman. Like, you don't know any of it. You just decided one day that's what I identify as. And it's like, honestly, we can go like, all right, I'll accept your delusion, go along to get along. But like, you're not a woman. It's this weird spot that we're in. But she, you notice though, she doesn't want to mess her hair up. She's not going forehead. She's not going around the eyes. She's not like whitening the lips. This isn't true blackface. I'm not trying to criticize her. It's just, I've seen better. I'm not black. And here, now, taking off this makeup. Oh, God, let's see how. Oh, yeah, they've got those makeup wipes. They really can do magic nowadays.
Eu digo para vocês, como uma mulher.
That does not come off. You're going to have to shower that off, sweetheart. That is not coming off easy. I'm saying I am a woman. I want to be seen as a woman. The woman of the year cannot be transgender because this is taking away, for example, the woman who invented the vaccine to help people walk again after an accident. She is a woman, but someone took her spot to put a transgender woman as woman of the year. So what I'm saying here is that transgender people must be respected. Yes, we're seeing the biggest increase in history in the murder of transgender people, and they must be respected. Yes, I don't want any trans person to face any kind of prejudice. I don't want any trans person to be murdered for being trans, nor to be discriminated against for being trans. But I also don't want any trans person to take my place. Where is that? It's not my place to speak. I am a woman. So there we go. That is, there is the before and after picture of Miss Bolsonaro. I mean, Miss Bolsonaro, I mean, she's got them. Figuratively, not literally. She's speaking out against the ones who have it literally. Oh, my God. Now that's what we're missing in Congress. C-SPAN would get such better ratings if we had shit like that going on instead of Lindsey Graham just going,
hold us hostage.
Yikes. I don't know where Brazil is at in terms of how sensitive they are towards that kind of stuff versus where we're at. But I have a feeling you get in trouble for that kind of shit. I'll come back to the chat when something happens. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, throw a couple of bucks our way. The way we've been rallying lately or lack thereof, I think tonight's going to be a bust unless you guys can rally for us, and I would appreciate it, but I hate doing this part. It's gross. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We'll come back to the chat later. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the next thing. I got no problem with that. I'll do my time, and then I'll get the hell out of here. Her speech was interrupted, however, by Monica Seixas, who raised a procedural objection. It took long enough. We just watched a 4-minute speech of her painting herself black. And accused her colleague of transphobia, racism, and blackface. I mean, I'm on her side, but it's hard to argue. Requesting the suspension of the session and the broadcast. Session chair Fabio Faria de Sá allowed Fabiana to finish speaking and said the case would be referred to the assembly's leadership. To which I'm sure the leadership is going to be like, I don't want to touch this one at all. No, you know what? I'm good. I'm all right. In a petition signed by 18 lawmakers, Sixus argued that the act violates constitutional principles and reinforces stigmas against trans people. See, like that? Are we going to have a conversation? Are we going to talk about this honestly? Or are you going to handcuff people where the minute they disagree with you and they'd like to express that opinion, you say it's anti-trans, it's transphobic, so we can't say that? How are we supposed to have an open conversation and an open discussion against these things, about these things, if we can't offend each other? It offends a lot of women that they lose spots to transgender people due to physical disadvantages. It offends them. But that offense is okay. We're allowed to commit that offense. But if someone wants to make the argument that on a biological level, these people are not the same, that's transphobic, we can't do that. Do you see how the debate is manipulated and the goalposts are moved and the Overton window is shifted to rig the game against you before you even start debating it? You know, we act like we have free speech. We act like we have open debate in this country, but you're shamed out of so many different positions before the debate even starts. It's like, okay, I want my position to be that someone who's trans is not really that gender. They just identify that way because it makes them feel better. Well, no, you can't have that position because that's transphobic. But I'm offended by their notion that they are that gender. So tell them that they can't take that position. Well, no, that position is okay. Yours is the only one that's hateful or problematic. Like, if you can't see how that manipulates and distorts the conversation to begin with, that you can say you're having an open conversation, you can say you're having an open debate about this, but if the terms beforehand are stacked in the favor of one side and tying the arms behind the back of the other side, then we're not having a debate. We're not having a discussion. We're really having more of a lecture. Hey, Nicholas, my golfing buddy, thanks for the $10 over on PayPal. Guys, we're in double digits now. I'd really like some help to knock this out. I really would. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go. Again, in the double digits. I'd really like a perfect start to the week. I really feel like we've done well for you and we deserve it. So I'm confident about our performance. So please and thank you. All of you teaming up should be easy enough to do. Let's go into this next one out of Delaware County. This is someone who apparently was really pissed at a crossing guard. Like I said, the morning show is for the hard news. The evening show is for the lighter fare, if you will.
An update tonight on this frightening moment you're about to see of a school crossing guard in Delaware County.
If we could see it.
Punch in the face there. So there's now
Okay, my question is, what the hell could the crossing guard do to you that would cause you to want to beat the shit out of them? Like what? Because punching someone in the face unprovoked is assault. Like, you're going to get arrested. You may not go to jail for a long time. They may plead you out and, you might get probation or whatever. They don't put a lot of people in jail. I'm the only one who goes to jail anymore. Thanks, Gino. Thanks, Kiki. I'm the only one who goes to jail. But like, what does a crossing guard have to do for you to risk your own safety and freedom to go punch him in the face?
$5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest.
Oh, black. Okay, well that makes sense. Stepped on the sneakers, did he? Scuff your J's, did he? Oh man, I hope not. You're gonna have to take those home and buff them to a high mirror shine as soon as possible. Well, I just answered my own question.
Crossing guard in Delaware
Look
County.
at that. That guy ran from way the hell over there. Something.
And an update tonight on this frightening moment you're about to
I'm starting to think the crossing guard was talking shit.
see of a school crossing guard in Delaware County getting punched in the face there.
He held up his stop sign. He thought, you know what? It's worth a shot, right? It's worth a try. That guy started running him down, and he panicked, and the only thing he could think is, maybe if I hold this up, he'll stop.
So there's now a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. That attack happened Monday outside an elementary school in Darbyboro.
That's great. We're knocking a guy out in front of a bunch of kids. We're just cold cocking a guy right in front of an elementary school. I mean, why have any kind of situational awareness about who you might be fucking up with that kind of...
Right outside of Philadelphia, the woman was taken to the hospital and is now recovering at home. Police believe
it was a female crossing guard too? Well, I guess anybody can get it outside of Philly. This is in Darby, Pennsylvania. I don't know anything about Darby other than the you-know-whats are wilding out there.
the attack was fueled by frustration from a person who is impatient. The guard had stopped traffic for kids on a bus.
What the fuck? So you were mad that the crossing guard stopped traffic so that kids in a bus could get to their destination. I'm starting to think that maybe this man's violent reaction was a tad bit emotionally hair-triggerish and maybe a little unreasonable.
Investigators say he blew his horn and revved his engine before storming out of his vehicle and approaching the guard.
You're punching. There's a very small window where you're in the right when you're punching a crossing guard. MSO says, was that Malcolm X Elementary School? Well, I mean, he was able to get back at that crossing guard by any means necessary. That's for sure. All right, we got 3 stories left. We're double digits away from notching a win tonight. I don't know what I can do to implore you to throw in a couple of memberships or something, but if you want to, please do. If not, like I said, I'll do my time and I'll leave you be. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and again, just a little bit more generosity and we can get ourselves a perfect Monday. I've already asked enough to where I've already made myself look shitty. I'm just hoping it pays dividends. That's all. Let's do the bunt cake one. The bunt cake one will go last. Oh, South Carolina dog groomers arrested after video shows animal abuse. How are you abusing animals as a dog groomer? Honest to God, give them a bath. Wash their hair, blow dry them, whatever, groom them, send them home. What are you abusing them for? The owners of a pet grooming business in South Carolina were arrested after an investigation into allegations of animal abuse. On Monday, officers with the Greenville Police Department's Animal Control Unit received complaints of animal abuse at the Corner Pet Grooming located at 1605 East North Street. See, this makes me nervous that when you take your, not your kids, when you take your pets to a Petco to get them groomed and a haircut and brushed or even their nails trimmed or whatever, makes me wonder, when you leave them there, are they being shitty to your dog? I don't want to leave my dog at those kind of places. I've taken Gordy to get his nails clipped before. And that's all right because I can be there when they do it. But stories like this make me go, are they going to fucking smack my dog if he's scared or if he's being moderately difficult? Are they going to treat my dog like shit? After reviewing video evidence, animal control officers executed a search warrant at the business. The owners, Linda and Donald Gilstrap, were identified as suspects and arrested. According to one of the warrants, Linda is accused of... Oh, no. Oh, my God. Tonight's episode is fire. Tonight's episode is full of really good shit. This is one of the best evening shows we've done in a long time. It is a shame that I feel like such a failure during this one because this has been the stories in tonight's show have been absolutely crazy. You cannot convince me that it's me tonight. You just can't convince me of it. According to one of the warrants, Linda is accused of punching a small tan Shih Tzu dog that was completely suspended by a body hammock. There is no reason to hit the dog at that point. Not that there's a reason to hit a dog normally, but you've got a Shih Tzu hanging in a body harness and you're like speed bagging the little fucker. Come on. She allegedly hit the dog 3 times and appeared to bend the dog's front left paw backwards. Why do you run a dog grooming business when you so clearly hate them? This would be like me running like a kitty daycare. And I'm just walking around snapping their heads, just like, fucker, get out of here. God, I fucking hate cats. Then why? Why? A Shih Tzu in a body harness is not threatening anybody. Another warrant says Linda grabbed the dog's muzzle and ears, pushing backwards, forcing the dog's neck to move in an unnatural and unsafe manner. And these weren't even pit bulls. These were dogs that didn't deserve it. In Donald's arrest warrant, let's find out what Donald did. It says he allegedly punched a dog in the ribs. All right, now punching a dog in the head is bad, but doing body work on a dog, like going to the body, like fucking Arturo Gatti stuff, your Mickey Ward on a golden retriever. What the? He punched a dog in the ribs while giving it a bath. Seconds later, he allegedly struck the dog in the back from above. Kill these two. Linda Gilstrap was charged with 2 counts of animal mistreatment. Donald Gilstrap was charged with 1 count. The couple was transported to Greenville Detention Center. A mugshot of Linda is not currently available. This is Donald. This is the guy who decided to go to the body because the dog will least expect it. Apparently the dog has really good head movement. They're really slippery defensively. So he had to go to the body because the body's, stationary. What a ghoul. Officers said the investigation remains ongoing and more charges may be forthcoming. I don't understand why you would... Like, I can't get punching a little defenseless Shih Tzu like that. I don't understand it. Thank you. Thank you so much to Small Town MN Gal. Can we get a handful more of these, please? Thank you so much. $10 from Small Town MN Gal. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. 5s, 10s, gifted memberships. You guys are the reason this show keeps going. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it more than you know. I wish it were easier. I really do. I'm so sorry for the way I have to behave to keep my show on the air. It's, it's a small town morning show out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's a fucking amazing miracle and a sign of how good this show is that we've kept it going this long. Just keep knocking those out, guys. I appreciate your support. Okay, the crossing guard holding up his stop sign like the guy in National Lampoon's Senior Trip caught my funny. The whole fucking show has been hilarious. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's the funniest fucking show there is. I mean, you can be gay and like drama. You're an old fucking man. If you're into drama, I'm sorry I'm above you. It's fucking pathetic to watch shows for drama. Stop it. This show is far more superior to anything like that. Crew Smitty says, this toe fucks. Goddamn right. Now keep throwing those 5s, 10s, and 20s, and let's call it a win today. Phil Herslet says, you can have a small show. You can even have a show in town, but you can't have a small show in town. Thank you, buddy. Let's just get a win tonight, and I'll be happy. MSO says, forget jail. Bring those 2 to the pound. No, I don't want to. It's like putting a violent criminal in Gen Pop. They're going to start beating the shit out of all the dogs. I got an idea. We talked about Mike Vick. Let's see if he still knows any of the old dogs from around the neighborhood, and we can drop them in there. Drop them in a Harlem pet fighting ring in a back alley somewhere and have them be one of the challengers in a 4-on-2 handicap match. I like that idea. Silverwolf says, my grandmother had a Shih Tzu. It had a skin condition, and it was a mean, pissed off dog. I wanted nothing more than to fucking beat that thing. Oh, well then. I'm sorry? Question mark. I didn't know that people had deep-seated resentment towards Shih Tzus and wanted to beat the fuck out of them. I got to be honest, really changed my mood. Shane F says, no reason, none. A Shih Tzu in a body harness has to get one speed bag. No, we don't. As funny as the visual, and I understand. I get it. The visual of speed bagging a Shih Tzu is kind of funny. You know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I get that. But it's a horrific thing to do in reality. Jesus. Thank you guys very much for your contributions and your support just a little bit further. I appreciate it. All right, we got time for one more, and then we got a rally. I wish not. I really wish not, because I don't think we're going to make it. I really don't think. When you do this long enough, you just know. And like, it feels like when I do a really good show, it feels wasted when we miss. And we've been missing so much lately, so I should be getting used to it. But it's like, and we always make it up somewhere else, but like to kick ass and like really fucking crush it and just not make the money, it's like, God, it sucks. Really does suck. Let's go to this restaurant story. There's more and more of these places. I remember when the first non-tipping restaurant opened in this area, and people were like, I don't know how to manage this. What the fuck are you talking? What do you no tip? We're not tipping them? Oh no, we pay them hourly. Like, well, what if they're crazy busy and they've got like 2 tables of 7 people? They're getting paid the same as if there's like no tables and it's completely dead that night? Yeah, that doesn't seem right. But there are more and more restaurants doing it this way, and I hope people don't support those places. I hope they break the rules and tip, because it seems like a scam. You know, it seems like the restaurants doing no tipping is really a ripoff. I will say this though. The getting asked to tip at fast food places and coffee places is getting pretty ridiculous. Like the paying with the card at a Subway and them asking, hey, do you want to leave a tip for the Subway worker? All that is the corporation that runs Subway not wanting to take their massive profits and pay their employees more and trying to put that burden on you and then make you feel guilty for not doing it. Subway has never been a tipping position. Herbert's and Gerbert's, Jersey Mike's, the sandwich places have never been a tipping kind of a place. But now they are, because the hedge funds that own these places, the private equity firms that own them, are too fucking cheap to give their employees a raise. So they want to make you feel shitty for not tipping them at Panera. Don't fucking
huge
make noise.
Impact on how we look at tipping. Restaurants became essential services, but tipping expanded beyond wait staff to include workers who came to our homes to deliver packages or...
Look, I think delivery people, I feel like they should get tipped. I don't mind tipping delivery people, but people who poured you a coffee or people who made you a sandwich, I don't know.
Repair our appliances.
It became a combat pay, and it was much more frequent for anybody that had public contact.
You've probably noticed tipflation. Many touchscreens suggest tips as high as 25, even 30%.
I definitely am between like 20 and 25 is my average amount that I tip. And I can't get swayed to go to like 25 or even higher if someone is like...
I start at 20. If they're just blah, whatever, they're kind of shit, it's 20 and that's it. But if they're pretty good, I go to 25. If they're really good, a third. But that's like, I used to be a server, and like you talk to most people who were servers and they usually tip pretty well just because, I don't know, trauma bonding.
Offering great service.
It's a reason for us maybe not to go into a restaurant because, you have to pay taxes and these high tips.
I just tip the same. Like 20% generally.
During the pandemic, some restaurants added a service charge to protect and retain employees. But an owner and server from separate restaurants tell me in the U.S., tip included gets mixed reviews.
After pandemic, we heard loud and clear from customers
that they like the freedom of choice. They don't like to be told the mandate.
Well, and a lot of places will, like, it can fuck over the servers, because a lot of places, when they do tip included, they'll do like 18%. So if someone wanted to leave more, well, you know, it's already there on the bill. Don't tip anymore. It's fine. You kind of fuck someone out of, 10, 15% if someone's really generous.
How much it should be.
Without tipping culture, without this idea of tipping, then yeah, sure, maybe I'm guaranteed more money, but maybe I'm also guaranteed less customers. You never know.
Restaurant serve.
Right. And also, the tipping culture expands to like people who run a register or people who run a drive-through. Like, I'm sure we'll probably live to see the day where McDonald's has tipping, unfortunately. And really, it's just too far. It's too much. I feel like we had it right with bartenders, servers, delivery people. I feel like we kind of nailed it at that point, and then we just kind of went past it.
Servers I spoke with say a 20% tip is the gold standard. Anything more is not expected but appreciated if you want to reward someone who goes above and beyond.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can always choose to if you want to, but like when they started sneaking it into like fast food or like sandwich places, it's like, guys, that's fucking enough. That's enough. All right, let's try to rally it up, and then we'll get out of here tonight. I just be generous. I would appreciate it if you were generous. Let's see if we can knock it off. We'll go with the train and Erica. We'll go old school. If we lose, we'll just lose doing it the way we always do. Look, if you thought the show was good, it's like Catholic Church, man. If you thought the show was good, put a little something in the plate. I appreciate it. It's going to come off as pathetic if I really kind of beg for it tonight. I don't, the people who fucking think I'm a piece of shit and hate my guts, I don't need to give them any more ammunition. So, I'm going to do this like a grown-up. We got 5 minutes left. I would really appreciate it if you could knock out. We ended up 80 short tonight. If you could make up that 80, if you could contribute what you can. I know times are tough. If you can't afford to, don't do it. If you can, I'd appreciate your generosity, because unfortunately, because I'm not a big show, this is how we have to make money. So if you enjoyed tonight's program, if I did a good job, and I think I did, throw a couple of bucks our way. Fire up the music. Let's see what we get. All right. Little fun music for you. $80 away from tonight, please and thank you. I'll shut up. I'll just say Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to cut this guy loose. How's that? Vince Griswold with $2. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Some Soper says servers can make $100K down here. Good. Good. You work at an expensive enough restaurant, you can. Camel Toe with a gifted membership. Thank you so much, Camel Toe. That is extremely generous of you. I appreciate everybody who does what they can for this program. That also means 12 more memberships, and we're at 500, and then I have to go till 9. I don't think we're going to get there. I think tonight will be an L. It sucks, but I think so. If you're going to be a dick about it, I'm just going to cut you loose, especially on YouTube, which is our secondary platform. I really don't give a shit. No, Crew Smitty, you didn't get cut loose. I like you. You're good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 75 away from tonight. 75 away from a win. Great job this morning, everybody. I appreciate the win this morning. I get it if you can't do anything. If you can, please do. Crew Smitty, you absolutely are a good egg. Let's get a big 50 drop in there. Let's get something heavy. Let's do something big. Crew Smitty just got a membership. Thank you. 75 away from tonight. We used to knock these out so easy, too. It's just not what it used to be. Not what it used to be. No, we're not going to beg tonight. We're not begging. We're asking. Please and thank you. I appreciate anyone who contributes to this program. It means a lot. I really am humbled by the support our audience gives us. Just want to notch a win every day, that's all. Just earnest about notching a W. Please and thank you. All right. Let's do it. I gotta cut Buzmak loose. I'll tell you why. He's like pedo covering for people, and it's really creepy. I think the internet broke Buzmak's brain. I just don't want anything to do with him because he's covering for legit pedophilic behavior, and it's really, really fucked up. I'm gonna choose to disassociate with him. No offense to him, he can do what he wants, but like the way he defends pedophilia, not cool with me. I'm taking a stand on that one. He's creepy, he's weird, and when you attack his pedophile friends, he gets really defensive about it to the point of delusion. I'd rather not associate with him. It's a bad look to be around him. All right. Let's see if we can't notch a win tonight. $75 away. We've gotten one membership dropped in during the rally segment. We're almost done with that first song. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. If you hate the toe, you'll love tonight. And you've probably loved the last couple weeks. We've definitely not done great compared to how we used to do. All right. So, look, if you like the show, please contribute. I appreciate it. Let's play the old school Erica. I think we're going to have to start I don't think the rally songs make a difference, but I think it's time to get new ones. We can lose to new songs instead of losing to the same old ones. Again, we're not going to beg you or anything like that. We're just going to say if you like the show, throw in some money. We're going to see how short we fall just by asking, passing the basket around, and not guilting you into it. Taste Fairy said it was cool seeing Corey Feldman go after Kumia and Melton on Twitter. Yeah, and Buzmak was legit defending their pedophilic words and actions, not just the people. And he was pretending he doesn't understand it. It's just he's too far gone in the internet shit, and I don't want to associate with someone who thinks that stuff's okay. No, thank you. And he's going to cope about it, but it's for his own good. 10 Beer, thank you very much for the gifted membership. I appreciate it. 70 away from tonight. Let's see who else thinks that we did a good enough job tonight to earn a little bit of money. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. 70 away from an L. I appreciate everybody who chips in. I mean, it means so much. Yeah, people saying Buzmak's a weirdo. You should have cut him loose a long time ago. I probably give people too much rope, but he's weird. He's weird. All right. Let's see if we can't get a big drop here. Hey, Katie with $20. Thank you. Says, I wish I could do more, but tonight's show was great. Hey, $20 is amazingly generous. That's unreal. Guys, $50 or 10 gifted memberships, and we can still get a win tonight. Somebody give 5 memberships. Another person give 5 memberships. We might actually have a shot at a W. We got a minute and a half. $50 away. If you can help us knock it out, that would be great. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We might be able to do this. $50 away from a win. Even a $50 loss wouldn't, thank you for that 20, Katie. That was very, very nice of you. $50 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's do it. A minute to go and $50 away from a W. All right, let's see if, come on guys, we can do it. $50 away. Let's see if we can't do it, guys. All of you jump in. Don't wait for someone else. Let's all jump in. If you like the show tonight, don't do it out of pity. Let's lose honestly. Let's lose because you didn't think it was worth it. All right, looks like we're going to miss tonight, but we got her down to 50. Not bad, guys. Not bad. Close, but no cigar. You know, If we can hang in there a little longer, I think we're going to be able to make some changes to this program where we won't need so much. And I just hope, when we get there, it solves everything. I really do. So here's what I ask. $50 is a hittable number. All right. If you think about it, you feel like doing it, I'm going to put the links in the chat. Consider clicking the link and donating after the show's over. And let's hit that 50. I think a bunch of 10 of us could have chipped in a membership tonight and we could have knocked that out. And boy, God, I tell you what, I have appreciated that. But you know what? I like the way we lost tonight. So thank you very much. Please and thank you. Let's knock it out tomorrow. What do you say? Take it easy, everybody.